Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
What's up, fam? Man, what's going on, man? What's good to the family? What's happening with the family in the building? Welcome to another installment of the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. We in the building, family. We in the building. Much love to you and Yearns on this beautiful, magnificent Saturday. And we back at it again, family. Once again, for another installment of the Who Dat Nation's favorite, the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And I like to say welcome. Welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from the favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. If you don't know, this is the Sports Coma, aka the Great Saint Think Tank Man, where we give you all that real deal about the Saints, and we die hard Who Dat Nation to the core, baby. You cut us, we bleed black and gold. You try to cut us again, you might go under, baby. One cut only, baby. Bottom line, baby. Might have to get the pocket knife for you. Who that to the Black and Gold family members chiming in the live stream on this episode of the Sports Coma, man. Good to see y'all in the live chat. Much love to all the family members in this one. And I'm good to see a lot of the family members, bro. We're going to break it down on this installment of the Sports Coma, by the way, family. We are going to open up the phone lines. They're not open yet, but I will let you guys know when we will activate the phone lines and let family members chime in with their thoughts, comments, concerns, or questions upon what's going on in the world of the Black and Gold. So for the family members who are not quite familiar, we'll open up the phone lines, allow the family members to chime in on this edition of the Sports Coma. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Please hit the like button, family, as we will go into this stream. You know, on a Saturday Saint Talk, we usually go 2 or 3 hours. We don't play with you on the Saturdays. We give you a break because Wednesdays come around for middle of the week show. We give you a break. But to keep it trail with you, when the Saturdays come, we let it all hang out. Big ups to the family members chiming in. Who that to you? Scoob, who that to you? School first in the building. Good to see your family in the chat as well. Travis 504, what's going on, family? Chris Williams, what up, family? Says, yo, big Q, who that nation, family? This is our bless up. Yeah, I love y'all. Hope everybody keeping safe. God first. Thank you, Chris. Same to you, family. Thank you for those great, beautiful sentiments. Who that to you? Tori Shepard Sr., who that to you, Tori? Good to see you in the live chat as well. Big ups to you. Sufayan, who that to you as well, family? Good to see you in the live chat. Uncle Paulie is in the building. What up there, Brother Paul? Who that to you as well, chiming in. Kevin, GM Kev in the building. What's up, GM Kev? Donald Woods Jr., who that to you, family? Good to see you as well in the chat. Big ups to you. Let's see what we got there. Blake Barre says, caked up. I'm on paper like Staples trying to get sent by Jamaica. I don't know. But welcome to the Sports Coma, Blake. Much love to you. Caution, who that to you, Caution? Good to see your family. Who that to you in the chat as well. Lori, good to see Lori in the building. Good to see you, Lori. Who that to you, baby? Much love to you as well. All right, family. Good to see all y'all chiming in. Please hit the like button as we go. On this one, family, I have several interviews that I'm going to play for you guys on the Sports Coma. Several interesting interviews. We'll hear from Emmanuel Sanders. We'll hear from Marcus Davenport. And we'll hear a little bit from Cam Jordan as well, as he will talk about how Sean Payton is, how to be a player playing for Sean Payton, as a lot of people, this NFL reporter basically called Sean Payton the Greg Popovich of the NFL. So, I mean, that's something. But we'll see, man. You know, we'll hear what Cam had to say about the flexibility of playing under somebody like Sean Payton, who has a diverse set of mindset. Not as hardcore as Sean. He's mellowing with age as he's moving forward. He used to be a lot more hardcore and difficult to deal with, a lot more disciplinarian. As he gets a little older, he's kind of softening this bit. And that's because he have a lot of players that's on the team that's been with him, that knows his style of play. You don't have to ride those guys. Those guys that you know, that knows your style of play. You don't have to ride them as hard, especially people like Cam who do it the right way anyway. So ain't no need to say that about Cam, But who that to the family? Iceman, who that to you? Mr. Inferno, C. Bell, good to see your family in the chat. Who that to you as well? Donald says, what's your thoughts on Marcus Davenport and Emmanuel Sanders? What's with this talk about Drew Brees' arm strength, man? At least he's working on it. I know, Donald. I've been saying that. I documented that. I've been telling people about that for a while, man, that Drew Brees is not the dude to say that you can't do nothing with. I mean, his strength coach said that relatively currently when he gave Drew an opportunity to kind of pitch a weighted ball 50-plus yards, and he gave him a month to be able to do it. Well, guess what? Drew Brees turned around and did that sucker in a matter of 3 weeks. He gave him a month. Drew take 3 weeks and a few days to do it. So that's what he does, man. He recognizes a weakness in his game, and he works on it. He's not like most people, that think they could just get over it. He's not like a P.J. Williams, who P.J. knows the reason why he's getting burned, or maybe he doesn't know. But I can tell you why P.J. Williams is so awful as a cornerback is because he don't pay attention to detail. He don't pick up on the small things that the wide receivers give you. Like when they're looking back, you look back because the ball might be coming. When their eyes get big like that, you know that the ball coming. When their hands raise up, they're telegraphing you, letting you most people don't pay attention to. And that's why Drew is so effective at what he does. That's why he's so good at what he does, because he sees the minuses and sets out to make pluses out of the minuses. That's something that some of the teammates haven't picked up on. So he's not that type of dude. He's going to get better in it. So in this episode, family, we're going to work on that. We're going to get together. We're going to play some interviews from Davenport. We're going to play some stuff from Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to read a couple of articles with you guys, and then after we get through that, then I'm opening up the phone lines to you guys' communication and your thought process on what's going on in the thing. Right now, we're going to move forward. Please mind, I might be dropping a few frames, but never mind that. We're going to keep going in it anyway. So I appreciate the family members for chiming in. Bear with me. We're going to keep it going on this edition of the Sports Coma as well. So if you give me a second, I'll share my screen and we'll get into the number one thing here. We're going to start off with this one as the Saints announced the roster moves. Okay, this is some of the stuff that we talked about early on about the Saints, but they made it official. They announced the roster moves. And, of course, yesterday they had put a couple of days ago, they put two players on the COVID-19 list, the C-19 list, which was long snapper Zach Woods and linebacker Caden Ellis. Well, Caden Ellis have come back off the list since then, and all you have to do to come back off that list is to test negative 2 consecutive times, and then you're back on the team. Caden Ellis did. My understanding is Zach Wood did 1 time, and they're testing him for a second time to see if it is. As soon as that happens, he'll be cleared to get back on the list, so that's good news for those men as well. Now, this is official straight off the Saints website. It's the fact that the Saints did announce the signing of Nigel Bratham to the team. Of course, we made mention that Bratham's not going to be a backup. We knew Bratham would eventually come in and fill in the spot left by A.J. Klein and Kiko Alonso, who was placed on the PUP list. We knew that Kiko wasn't going to be good to go, even though he was ahead of the recovery chart. Still play it by ear with a repeat offender dealing with these injuries. You got to play it slow. You know, you have to play it slow with these guys. But anyway, Bratham, 6'2", 241, was originally a 4th-round pick, 105th overall from the Buffalo Bills out of Florida State in 2012, and 8 seasons with the Bills, went from 12 to 15, and Philly from 16 to 19. He appeared in 118 games with 96 starts, posting career totals of 588 tackles, 409 of them was solo, 8.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, 33 pass defense, 5 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdown returns, and 28 special team stops before he got the opportunity to step in that starting role. And, of course, he's a native of Crawford, Florida. He started in 12 games and played all for the Eagles, 63 tackles, a 22-yard interception, 4 pass defense, and 1 forced fumble for him. So they officially announced the move via the Saints website. Let's move on to the next article. And this one's coming from our good friends at the Saints News Network. You know, we always holler at them, and they give us a lot of respect, and we give it back, man. That's what we do here at the Sports Coma, the Saint think tank, is we give love because they got a lot of hard-working people, man, and we want to work with you. So Fowler, how the Saints landed, and this is from our friend Kyle T. Mosley, who's a fellow compatriot of our good friend and great Saint think tank honorary Bob Rose. Wrote a pretty good article on Benny Fowler. And he says after the Saints signed him, the Saints fans come and understand why Mickey Loomis decided to offer a contract. Now, this came out recently, and some of it was broken on ESPN as well, credit to them, is that there was a relationship that was built between Drew, because a lot of people say, where did Benny Fowler come from? Where did Benny Fowler come from? What was the deal with that? Well, the reality of the situation is, let's go to the article and see what Brother Kyle T says about it. He says, the NFL generally is the same as the real world. Players get tryouts and deals as a result of who they know on the team. Connections. Network nepotism and the word of mouth are great to help someone land a job. I got my first job at a restaurant on St. Charles Street in New Orleans because of 2 friends' recommendations. Yep, references work. My future employer trusted them. In wide receiver Benny Fowler's case, the same was true for him. Two influential Saints players, Drew Brees and Emmanuel Sanders, helped the journeyman receiver land a 1-year deal with the Saints. But how and why? Well, Brother Kyle breaks it down. He says Emmanuel Sanders reminded, let's kind of highlight that. He says Emmanuel Sanders reminded the Saints on Friday that the workout he and Drew Brees had several weeks ago. Drew flew out to Denver. Y'all remember that when you seen him throwing the deep passes to Emmanuel Sanders? Well, guess who was there as well? Yeah, and it happened like this. Sanders Brees needed another receiver to accompany Sanders during these workouts, and Sanders brought along his friend and former teammate Benny Fowler, according to Sanders. Brees was impressed with Fowler enough for Brees to recommend to Fowler to the Saints and convince them to give him a shot during training camp. They did, and now Fowler is a Saint. So Drew Brees does have influence, man. And as you can see, Fowler ended up on the team. I just wonder if Maurice Harris would have had the incentive to go to meet up with Drew Brees in Denver, he would still be on the team. I'm just keeping it real. Or maybe not. You never know. Connections. And of course, he said, here's the quote that was there. He says, "No, we're not working. We worked for 2 days as well. We were out there throwing routes, and I ended up bringing Benny Fowler along, and Drew ended up liking Benny, the way he ran routes. He's a big receiver and sees how he's at camp with me as well. So it's pretty cool," Emmanuel says. So Emmanuel came on the team. He brought in his buddy, Benny Fowler, who won the championship with him for the 4 years they were in Denver. A few weeks ago, Fowler was without an NFL team to call home. Today, the 6-year NFL pro is in the Saints training, competing for one of the 2 or 3 spots in the wide receiver rotation behind Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Something telling me right now that Benny Fowler is going to probably beat out Tre'Quan Smith for that position. His experience, his ability, his speed. Now, they both round around the same size. The difference is, even though Fowler is incredibly quick, just like Tre'Quan is, he's a guy that has no problems catching the ball in the crowd. He has that. He's going into his 7th year of pro ball experience, and that helps because behind Emmanuel Sanders, this guy here is the most experienced of the wide receiver core you have. So that experience counts as much. And then one of the 3 are young veterans. A 4-year veteran by the name of Maurice Harris is not there to compete with him. So it looks like Fowler's shaking up to have a pretty impressive camp. Now, he says Fowler's performance in Denver might have been impressive enough for Brees to recommend a receiver to Peyton and Loomis. He has a limited window of opportunity to make an impression for the Saints staff in training camp, which, they're going to rely on a veteran. Fowler catch on. Will Fowler catch on with the Saints? I'm not sure. Remember, it's not what you know, but who you know, and it's definitely good to know and have friends like Drew Brees and Emmanuel Sanders. That speaks volumes. And I appreciate Kyle T for a splendid article on the mixture to connect the dots. Fowler, and you have Fowler connections. Emmanuel Sanders, they played on the same team together back in Denver. They won championship. And he brought him along with Drew, and that's how stuff happens, man. So big ups. Let's see if he can stay with the team. And let's go on to one of the articles. We're going to bring that up. Matter of fact, we made mention of it right here, that he was saying he landed the job because of this, and Kyle T. Mosley basically broke it down. Also, some information here. I'll give it to you by ESPN from Triplet is that Saints defensive end Marcus Davenport had 6 sacks in 13 games last year before landing on the IR with a foot injury. And he said he wasn't good enough, not even close compared to his lofty goals. Shoot, I'm trying to be better than Cam, said Davenport of his teammate Cam Jordan, who's been named either first or second team All-Pro in the past 3 seasons. Obviously, he's one of the best, so I'm thinking it's a good goal to model. Like Jordan always says, 1% better each day. That's my motto as well. You need to be better than what you were last year. That is considered progress. The fact that you say 1% is still better than what you were last year. Remember, incremental small steps. You don't have to make quantum leaps here, but incremental steps every day to be a better person no matter what you're doing. So that's just a little something I want to sprinkle upon the family members as well. We're going to get back into the communications, and right now we're going to play some Emmanuel Sanders and get a little hint of Emmanuel's interview here and hear what he had to say about the Saints. Here's Sanders.
Hey, Emmanuel, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. How well do you feel you're grasping the intricacies of the Saints offense so far?
I think I think it's coming along. Day by day. In missing OTAs, I kind of wish we had those, but so does every team in the NFL. So right now it's kind of trying to understand, but I think CJ and RC, my receiver coaches, are doing a great job explaining it to me, and I think that the schedule that the Saints have set up to get me acclimated with it as well has been good. We've been having walkthroughs in the afternoon, which has been really good. Get that timing down, even though it's not full speed to even run through those routes. And then in the mornings the following day, Drew will come in and sit in the meetings and tell me, or tell us what he's thinking, and whole 9 yards. So it's been really good, and it's coming along. I'm trying to work in 2 positions. So hopefully, I can. The more I know, and the more positions I can play, the better, that I can perform. And so, I'm trying to grasp the entire thing.
All right, family, we're going to have that replayed for you in just a second. Just give us a second to get that booted up. Here we go.
Next question is from Luke Johnson. Luke?
Emmanuel, Drew said he flew out to Denver to get some work in with you this offseason. How important was that, even if it's just for a couple days?
Well, it was good. It was really good for me. I think just, sometimes, a lot of people, they talk about, the X's and O's, but, moving to a whole new city and you don't know any guys on the team. So when Drew came out, it kind of made me feel good to know, at least, when I show up to the locker room, I already have gotten acclimated with him. We spent 2 days together, went to Tropical Smoothie and, had lunch and got to chop it up and get to know each other. And so that was really good as well, because sometimes, on the field, that's going to work itself out. But the off the field is pretty cool to be able to get to know a guy and, know what he's about, with his family and everything. So that was important.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but just out of curiosity, is that like a more of like a get to know you sort of thing, or did you guys do some work?
We were working. We worked for 2 days as well. So we were out there throwing routes, and I ended up bringing Benny Fowler along, and Drew ended up liking Benny, the way that he ran routes and just a big receiver. And so now he's at camp with me as well, and so that's pretty cool as well.
Next question is from Amy Just.
Sorry,
Amy.
Look at that camera.
On that note, anytime, pandemic or not, it takes a little while to get adjusted, to your new team, your new facility, that type of stuff. How has, being or having to take all these protocols and, not being able to be close to people affected how you're getting integrated with the team, if at all?
I think everybody's trying to keep their distance, but at the end of the day, everybody's also, we're trying to work and we're trying to get better, and so, we're trying to stay true to the protocols. Obviously, we're wearing these bands around our wrists, and it pretty much lets you know when you're 6 feet, when you're not 6 feet apart from someone, and the whole 9 yards, and so. The mask, and everybody's wearing masks, and everybody's trying to stay safe, and we take the COVID test every morning, so. That makes everybody feel good to know that, you're getting tested every morning and you know that you can walk around safe in a facility. And I think Sean Payton and those guys, they've got us up at the lows in which they've created a safe environment there as well, kind of created not a mandatory bubble, but a bubble for the guys who want to be a part of it. And so, I'm staying at the lows right now as well. So I think the whole process has been good. It's been smooth, and truthfully, one thing about, football players in general, we go through so much, from the injuries, from, being traded mid-season to just everything that, sometimes we're the best at midstream and adjusting. So we're doing our best, and, I don't see it getting on anyone's nerves. And truthfully, we're just all here trying to win.
One of the most common combos that people do when they're taking Testrol X is that they start stacking it with Redwood. And Redwood is our UMZU circulation support supplement. It's a blood flow support supplement. It helps you to get more blood flowing and throughout your body to all the right places. Now, a lot of people have blood flow problems that also have hormone problems because Hormone imbalance is one of the key causes of poor blood flow and poor circulation throughout the body. You want to make sure that you're supporting the good blood flow, because the blood brings the nutrients to all the right spots in your body. And now, if people have problems with, especially performance in the bed.
All right, family. Sorry about that. Trying to get that off of there. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next interview here. Manuel Sanders. The next one is Davenport, as he's tuned up. Here's Marcus Davenport. Thoughts on Davenport?
Okay, the first question is from Nick Underhill. Nick?
Hey, Marcus, just curious how your foot's doing, how you feel. Are you limited? Just kind of what the rehab process was like for you this offseason.
So rehab has been pretty much, continuous. We got to be able to put in a lot of time over this off season because of COVID and this break, and it's really helped me back a lot. So, I'm more excited to even just to be able to go through all this stuff and see what everything is how it's gonna unfold. So, it's pretty good.
Okay, next question is from Catherine Terrell. Kat?
Hey, Marcus, I was wondering, a lot of us have been talking about how the
Can't really hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I'll come closer. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I have headphones on.
Oh, it's okay.
There's been so much talk about how the Saints rented out this hotel, but I was curious, y'all stay in a hotel every summer anyway. How is it different than just staying at a hotel for training camp any other year?
Well, the Saints have done a great job, especially making us feel and, see that they're taking all these different precautions and that they want the best for us. And so, the hotel is an option for certain guys, and, depending on, if you're just new in town, you don't really know where to go. I think that's like one of the best options you can have because, it's a safe environment, and that's what we're really about right now, we're trying to do all we can to make it to a season.
Marcus, you want to take a step back? There you go.
Next question is from Luke Johnson. Luke?
Hey, Marcus. Cam said at some point that I think you were there in rehab. Cam was there in rehab. Sheldon was there. Maybe a couple other D-line guys. Were you guys able to kind of create any sort of any more like camaraderie there? Just seeing as how you guys were the only kind of group in there all together.
Well, I think that happens with about anybody. That happen to be around each other for an extended amount of time. But, I can say that we were pretty lucky that, we took all these precautions, the trainers, the whole staff, the Saints as a whole, had like a plan set out for us, and, it allowed us able to grow and, just develop some more camaraderie, just build on what we had. So, I can say it's been great.
Next question is from Amos Morale.
Hey, I was curious, do you have any specific goals for this upcoming season, and did you have to adjust them because of the way the offseason went with COVID?
No, I can say honestly I was blessed because, I had all this time and, I had the chance to be around Cam and, watch how he works. And so, my goal is, I'm trying to be better than Cam, Obviously he's one of the best, and, I think that's a good goal to, try to model my aspirations to just try to be better, like he always says, 1% better each day. And so, if I can get better than Cam, then I'm doing something right.
You heard him. That's Cam talking about Cam Jordan, Davenport on Cam Jordan. Let's move into our final interview right here. The first one was Emmanuel Sanders. The second was Davenport, as he gave credit where credit is due to having Cam, man, as a person that he can learn from. And Cam is definitely a person he should learn from to be productive. And I think Davenport's a guy who could really help out if he can remain healthy. He can really help the team out, man, just by doing his best to be healthy as possible. That's probably the best thing he can do. Here's Cam Jordan on a 4-part roundtable with him talking about how flexible Sean Payton is in camp. Here we go.
All right, Cam, I want to come to you on this because you play for a head coach in Sean Payton, who has been very outspoken on a lot of issues for several years. He's kind of the NFL's Greg Popovich. What's it like as players knowing that you have a coach who is not afraid to speak his mind, who's supportive of what you all may want to do, whatever cause you may want to lead, this voting cause, whatever. But what's it like knowing that you have that security from the top and trying to push whatever it is you guys are trying to push?
Yeah, I mean, when you say at the top, you look no further than Sean sort of, being socially active and using his platforms to, push the narrative that it's, this is what we're going to do. This is how we do things. This is whatever are the steps that he is trying to vehemently throw out there. It empowers the players to know that it's okay to, stand, not only stand for what you believe in, but to put a voice behind it and really just be able to voice your opinion and know that there's not going to be any sort of backlash for that. It's an empowering movement. So when we say vote and you see Sean Payton out there talking about voting and registering to vote and pushing this narrative, players are even more emboldened, empowered to then go say, hey, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm voting for, this is it. But when I'm talking about voting, I'm talking about registering to vote. I'm talking about knowing your local legislation. I'm talking about pushing forth the ability to exercise your rights to vote. Because when you talk to so many different people, it's like, hey, I feel like my votes don't matter. If we all come together as a people and end up completely voting, that's when we can truly make a difference.
Okay, you said a couple things here. I'd love, Natalie, I'll start with her, and John, I want you to follow. But first off, the last thing you said, so many people feel their votes don't matter, that if they take part in this process, what good is it going to do? Natalie, is part of the I Am a Voter and part of this partnership with the NFL you talk about education, how much of it is spent in trying to make people realize that their votes do matter?
That's what it's all about. I mean, everyone needs to understand that their voice matters, their vote matters. For example, there are so many elections happening this year other than the general election in November. For example, there are 26 cities that are holding mayoral elections, and then there are 11 states that are voting for a new governor. Our hope is that we can leverage the momentum of this general election to get people interested in voting back in their local and their state elections.
That's some of the stuff from Cam Jordan. Of course, the NFL has its voter drive that it's doing right now. The NFL Votes campaign that they're pushing currently. So that's one of the many things that they're doing after coming out of the COVID thing. They're kind of moving into the next stage of which you got a lot of stuff going on in the election cycle in the NFL, who kind of coy and likes to shy away from political issues, decided to do something positive and encourage people to get out and impact their community in a positive fashion by voting. So that's some information that was releases. We went through several articles. We then played several interviews from Emmanuel Sanders, Marcus Davenport, and of course Cam Jordan's thoughts on how flexible Sean Payton is, as well as he is one of the representatives for the NFL Votes campaign. All right, I'd like to give a shout out to all of the family members in the live stream. Please smash the like button if you please. I thank the family members for chiming in the live stream as we were cycling through our videos and going into our interviews. I didn't have a chance to greet you guys properly. I'd like to give you guys a shout out right now in the live stream. Please, big ups to the family members. I see you, Ken Rasa. Ken Rasa, Bloodstone. Good to see you, Ken Rasa. Who there to your family in the building as well. Donald says Nigel Bratham is officially a Saint. Great pickup. That's right, family. Mark Dice, who that to you, Mark? Good to see you. Says, who that family? I'm ready for some football. Ready. I feel you, family. He said, Tom Brady, he says, Tom Brady I hate having the preseason games. Who that to you as well, family. Thank you. Blake says, but they don't say 2019 was the first year he played middle linebacker. He was always left or right side linebacker. Okay, Uncle Paul says Bratham and Davis should be great at stopping the run for the Saints this season. All right, Jerry Poirier, who that to you, Jerry? I see you, family. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us, fam. Big ups to you, Jerry. Big ups to the family. Thank you for joining us, sir. JT, who that to you, JT? Much love to your family. Good to see you, fam. In the chat as well. Donald says Benny Fowler and Emmanuel Sanders are 2016 Super Bowl champions. Yep, that'll work well. They have the camaraderie. They can bring that same edge to New Orleans, I think this is two really great transactions to have, because not too many people really talking about Fowler, in this one. But the reality at the end of the day is Fowler. I keep saying Fowler. Did I say Fowler or Fowler? I got to cut that out because I keep thinking like this the dude from the Atlanta Falcons, Dante Fowler, but this is Benny Fowler. Fowler. All right, Fowler, because he Fowler. All right, but anyway, Benny Fowler is a guy that could help out because his addition at wide receiver behind Sanders, behind Thomas, could be instrumental. It really could. It could help the team in the wide receiver room. It added a veteran. Sanders is the most experienced of all the wide receivers in the Saints wide receiver room, and Fowler is the second most experienced guy with his 6 years of NFL experience going into his 7 years. It's going to help out as well. So we're going to see how that works. All right, let's keep it going. Crass, who that to your family? Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us. Also, thank you for your super chat, friend. Appreciate your super chat. Randy Major, who that to you? Randy, good to see you in the live stream, fam. He says he can be a great depth piece. Plus, him and Sanders got good chemistry. I agree. That is a good move. B Jizzle, what up, fam? Says, man, what happened to Dez Bryant? Dez Bryant, I don't know, bro. He's that ship has long sailed. Dez Bryant was interesting to the Saints. Then he wanted to go back to Dallas. I don't think he probably gets signed until late here in the year, barring injuries to other people, if he gets back at all. But, you get a window and then it disappears. You know how we had looked at Antonio Brown, you looked at Dez Bryant, and then you looked at Marshall, all these other guys, and then you move forward, So we'll see. You never know what happens barring injuries. Okay, keep it going. Okay, Donald says Benny Fowler probably is going to be trying out for the fourth wide receiver spot. It might be a direct competition with him and Traquan Smith. I still say the Saints don't cut Traquan Smith. He still has 2 years left this year and next year left on his very cheap third-round draft pick contract. There's no reason for the Saints to rush him out of here unless they fall in love with a spot that he's occupying with another wide receiver outside of the ones that we're looking at. We'll see how it all shakes up. Donald also says that Benny Fowler is going to end up taking Austin Carr's spot on the roster. Okay. Derek Sampe, who that to you, Derek? Good to see you in the live chat as well. Donald says Traquan Smith not going anywhere. Austin Carr's job is about to be taken by Fowler. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, who else we got here? All right. Blake says Traquan was taught only outside receiver position in college. Slot was not his thing when he outside. I agree, slot is not his thing, and that's too bad because the Saints like duality out of their wide receivers, guys that can play inside and out. If you can't play inside and out, you're going to have an issue here in the black and gold. Who that to you, Demi? Good to see you in the chat, Demi. Much love to you and the rest of the family members chiming in. Dallas Allen, who that to you, Dallas, as well. Much love to you as well. Dada, what up, Dada? Big dog Dada in the building. Charles Winston, who that to you, Charles, as well. Tori Shepard, what up, Tori? Good to see you as well, family. If I didn't give you a shout out, giving you a shout out again. Javier, who that to you? Nola Soul, who that to you as well? Good to see you in the chat as well. Who that, baby? And also JT. He says, I hope Peyton has learned not to stay with draft pick for more than 3 years. There we go. And okay. And the rest of the family. So thank y'all for chiming in that live stream, family. Please feel free to hit the like button. The phone lines are activated. The phone lines are indeed activated. You can feel free to get your call on here. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. With live lines is open, you can feel free to chime in. Thoughts, concerns, questions on the team. Live lines are open for the family members to chime in. Glenn Witt, I see you, Glenn. Who that to you, Glenn? Much love to you and the rest of the family chiming in the chat. B Jizzle says, sup, big dog. What happened to Dez Bryant? Been watching his videos on IG. Dude looks great. I know, bro, but, it get to a point, man, where people, you doing all that. You got to remember, he had an opportunity to sign with the team. You can be a little, you can make yourself, just like, look what Emmanuel Sanders did with Benny Fowler. Fowler made himself available, right? That's how he made it on the team. That was the back information. Like, where did they find this guy at? Because I'm like, hold on here. Where did they get this Fowler guy from? But you see how at the end of the day it shook out. The truth came out that he was, even though you can look at the information and knew that Emmanuel Sanders played for the Denver. And I knew that. I knew that they were teammates that played together in Denver. But he has a lot of teammates that he played with in Denver that he's not close to. But it came out later on that Drew liked him. Emmanuel, who I don't know how much of a reference pull that he has inside of the Saints building. I don't know how much, if any, but Drew has a lot of stroke in that building. Drew said something. Sean Payton then pulled the hammer, got rid of 3 wide receivers to get under 8, and then it ultimately slid Fowler into the mix. Why wasn't Dez Bryant in that situation? Why didn't he make himself available when Drew Brees was throwing out there? Why didn't he drive out there, put a mask on, take his zinc and his vitamin D and everything? Why did he hit the trail and go out there to meet with Drew Brees and go catch them passes from him? You see what I'm saying? Instead of working and doing, I understand you working out and do all this stuff, but it's ways that you can get involved where you can get in the dough versus somebody else that's just sitting there hoping that somebody sees something and then make a move. You see what I'm saying? He has Sean Payton's phone number. He could have called Sean Payton and said, look, Sean, I'm feeling good. I want an opportunity to come to compete. You think Sean Payton wouldn't say, yo, Dez Bryant, you healthy? We'll give you a physical. Come on down. Listen, I'll take a veteran minimum contract. Just try me out at the position. That's all. Only thing he can ask for is an opportunity to try out. You see what I'm saying? That's all he can do. But I'm saying why he didn't make himself available is beyond me. Sometimes these guys, they got the big heads like I'm this, that, and the third. You hadn't played decent football in some time. A lot of people are considering them a has-been. That and that's what you have to also look at. Our coach is saying, well, this guy's a has-been. How many people that they come across? Seriously. Wide receivers, tape that they see, stuff like that. And you have to make yourself available is what I'm saying, family. You got to make yourself available to the coaching staff, just like Benny Fowler did. And it ultimately worked out for him. He got a job. So, I think that was a pretty smart move for him to do that. All right. Thank the family for that as well. Let's keep it moving here and see if I got any more questions. Live lines open, family, 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. Lines is open now. Feel free to call in. Questions, concerns, comments, get on the horn with Big Q. All right, let's go on to the next one. Thank you for that, Derek. Hit the like buttons, family. Thank you very much. Donald Wood says Brandon Marshall is a clown, man, out of here, mad at players who have rings. He had made his opponents. He had his opponents to get a ring. He didn't do anything his whole career. No, he did something, Donald. He collected the check his whole damn year. He ain't got nothing else to show for it. He can sit on there with that weird, funny hairdo of his and talk about Emmanuel Sanders supposed to be sitting up there next to him and all that, all he wants. Only thing I know is Emmanuel Sanders about to win the Super Bowl ring. Another one. So he'll have several versus that chump. Lori says, who you think is better, the Saints or the Bucs? I think the Saints are definitely better than the Bucs, not exponentially better than the Bucs, because the Bucs, to be truthful and honest, the Bucs rolls up their overall talent level, especially at the QB position, which has been a problem with Jameis with the turnovers. But if they can keep him upright, if they can fortify the offensive line, because the issue wasn't totally always the quarterback, it was the other stuff. Like they couldn't put together, they tried, but they could never put together a stable running attack, and then they could never put together a total good offensive line unit. They had a lot of injuries that didn't fall their way. They did develop the wide receivers. They have a lot of very, very talented tight ends. That's pretty good. I'm a big-time fan of Cameron Brate. I just think he's terrific. If he gets an opportunity to be afraid, the Saints should snatch him up and bring him down here and put him anywhere they can put him. At fullback, whatever. Cameron Brate is awesome to me. I think he's a star. He's a potential star at the position. And then, of course, you look at the defense, which has carried the team for a long time. We're looking at the running back position to find out what they can do. Now, they brought in McCoy. They still have the guy, Jones, I think his name is, that they drafted from USC. So it's a matter of them staying healthy and putting it all together on the field. They've rose up their overall talent of their team, in my opinion. The thing is, can they put it together in the 2 years to make it work? So it's a lot of stuff they have to learn. Tom Brady said so himself. I think the Saints have the advantage because not merely of the camaraderie, that we're playing basically with the same system, but it's hard to beat a team that's entrenched, that's playing with the same system, that's been effective. And you have to find a system to be positive yourself. You have to find a system that works for you, and then you have to compete with the Saints. See, people not looking at it that way. The Saints have been winning here for several seasons, and they've been not only winning, but they've been just decimating teams. So if that's indeed the point, y'all have to excuse me. My granddaughter is cutting up back there. So if you hear a little girl screaming and cutting up, that's my granddaughter. So excuse the noise. And my daughter stepped by with the baby. So anyway, yes. So yes, back to the point. But people don't understand how you have a team like the Saints who are perennial winners, and then you as a losing ass team have the pressure of creating a system that is actually successful for you. An older quarterback, he has to come in there and learn a whole new system. And of course, they're going to take a lot of the stuff that he was doing in New England, but they're not going to take everything. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a few plays here or there, but you have to have a diverse skill set to deal with the Saints offensively speaking and defensively. They got a lot of talent all the way, but so do the majority of the teams in the NFL. A lot of teams are unsuccessful because the coach isn't able to get his players on the same line as the system that they're doing. Sean Payton has had that. He's had that for the majority of his time in the Saints uniform. Now, with that being said, their coach will have to figure out a way to be able to create a system. Not only that'll make them successful, but it'll be good enough to beat what the Saints doing. That's a tall order. And most of the reporter people talk to you like you're playing Madden. It don't work that way. They've been losing for years over there. It's that stigma too. It's the stigma of losing that's been over that team for a while. They haven't made the playoffs in quite some time. They haven't had a winning season in quite some time. So it's a tall order for a quarterback to come into a losing organization with new pieces all over the place, new system, and be successful putting the system together, and then take that same system and beat the Saints, what they've been doing competitively and systematically over the last several years. It's a tall order. That's why I said the Saints. I know that was a long way around it, but it's better than telling you, yes, they better because we just better who that. I mean, I can hit you with that, but I think you want some analysis behind why I feel about the team. So thank you for that, Lori. Much love to you, baby, for that great question. All right, let's keep it going here, family. Let's see who else we got here. Chime, any questions? Any more comments here? I'm going to read over them. Crash says, Brees is the only reason Austin Carr is still on the roster at Metairie Drive. Lori says, I think the Saints are better too. Donald says, AB going to end up in Seattle Seahawks, man. Yeah, I know. Seattle's swinging for the fences, no doubt about it. B. Jizzle says, you're actually right about Dez. Drew needs to talk up for Clowney or Griffin. He doesn't care, bro. He doesn't care about Clowney or Griffin. To be honest with you, have every reason to be mad at Griffin the way he tore his ass up last year. man, ain't talking up for him, man. That man kicked my ass last year, man. Forced me to almost retire. But nah, he ain't gonna speak. Ain't too many people Drew Brees do speak up for it, bro. He spoke up for Darren Sproles some time ago to get him on the team, but not to keep him. Because remember, the Saints were going to cut. Only thing Drew had to do was go in there and tell Sean Payton, look, Sean, Sproles is my dude. That's my guy. So I want him on the team. However y'all feel, that would have been enough to say, you know what, let's keep him. It's Drew Brees. Who you name me any other people, the Saints are begging to come back. Remember Breezy come back? Remember that song I sung a couple of shows ago? Breezy come back? Remember that song? Yeah, that same song was what Sean Payton was on the line telling Drew Brees on the phone. Breezy come back. How many people did he beg back? He don't beg back too many people often, fam. He just don't do that. He ain't the begging kind. But he did for Drew. And if you really love Drew that much and you begging him back like that, if he tell you to go get somebody, you're going to get him. Case in point, quite recently with Benny Fowler. Nobody knew who the hell Benny Fowler was except for Benny Fowler and his family members. Benny Fowler and his family members and whoever bought his book, whoever listened to his motivational speeches. I've heard the name before, but it was no reason for me to take interest, football speaking wise, about Benny Fowler. You understand what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you that was a recommendation. Emmanuel Sanders just got in the door. How you gonna put a reference in for somebody for a job and your ass just got there? I mean, you see what I'm saying? You don't have much of a word yet. But if your best employee and Hall of Fame employee who won all your monthly awards steps in the door and say, I want that guy there, look how fast they went and got him. Then they moved a guy off of the roster that Sean Payton actually was liking. He liked Maurice Harris, but he moved him off the roster to put Fowler there. Also, Tommy Lee Lewis was moved off the roster, and Tommy Lee was referred by his mentor, Bill Parcells. Come on. But it just goes to show you, bro. It just goes to show you relationships. Thank you for that. But yeah, I don't think he'll get, I think the Saints feel like they're feeling good. They could have went after either one of those men, bro. They could have went after either. They're not looking even in Griffin's direction. They had a flirtatious moment, it appears, with Clowney because Clowney's still sitting out there. He was talked to by the 49ers. The Seattle Seahawks was interested in him before they ultimately, I think they signed Jordan. I think that was the 49ers did. But 49ers, Seattle was still interested in him. The Jets have zero interest in him. Titans want to see what he looks like. But the Saints are not even looking in his direction. They're going to go into the season with what they have, and if they have to readdress it, they'll do it later. That's not my behavior because I would not play. One of my sayings is don't play with the pass rush. That's what I say. I say don't play with the pass rush. That's just who I am. That's how I think. We're not going to play with the pass rush, and we damn sure ain't going to play with the secondary. You got rid of Dietrich Nichols, the XFL cornerback. And the only thing you have below your top 3 cornerbacks, we already know about the Jackrabbit. We know about Lattimore. We know about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. But what you have underneath them guys is question marks. And we talking about Patrick Robinson. We talking about P.J. Williams. We talking about god-awful Justin Hardys. And then the rest of those undrafted guys with Ellis and Washington. What do you have there? I mean, that is, Elise Nichols was in between, a brace in between the experienced guys who wasn't all that good and the inexperienced guys, because he was a guy in between that had experience of 2 or 3 years. He was a ball, but you cut him in the street. How do you put Nichols in the street, but don't put P.J. Williams in the street? Come on, man, the audacity. The audacity. That you cannot say anything about that except that's a move if he was asked that. Why you put Nichols in the street, man? Let's get some facts. Why you put him in the street? Well, I felt good about the cornerback, but then they go into a political spill, you see? And I know Sean Payton well enough to even say that. Because I say, if he's sitting right here, I say, man, why you put Dietrich Nichols in the street for real? Oh, as a team, overall, as a team, secondary's been doing pretty good. Y'all knowing like I know, this is what he would say. This is the customary Sean Payton response. He would say, all right, y'all, we felt pretty good about our secondary. We like guys thinking, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's do a step up there. We like him. Patrick Robinson, is an experienced veteran guy. He's been doing a lot. We reworked his deal. We feel confident about him. We're looking for an increase and a step up and burst both Janoris Jenkins and Marshawn Lattimore to take it up to another deal. He will not mention injuries, though. He will not talk about injuries. He'll talk about PJ. PJ looked well later in the season. He played pretty good for us. He did play pretty good for you, but as a safety. He won't say that either. You see, you got to be on it to know how stuff works, because people will say it, and then there's always more information to stick to it. And the only way you get that if you sitting up there looking at it. Like, how often is it that you watch an incident occur? Like, you'll watch a debate or something on television, and then they'll have some guy on television that'll come behind you and tell you what he thought that they did there. Then you already had an idea about what happened, but they're gonna then tell you, this, that, and the third. It's like a lot of these polls that's fake. Most of the polls they put out here is fraudulent. Why would they tell you the truth about anything? Seriously, it's purely information. It's an information war going on between 2 competing factions that don't like each other. Now, bear in mind, they're both family members now. That's why I try to stay out of family disputes. Keeping it real. Because we know what time it is. They both fighting each other and kicking. Sometimes family members get mad at each other and shoot each other to death. Like, y'all remember some time ago, they had a guy kill his brother. It was in the country somewhere. down in Mississippi or one in the South somewhere. A brother killed his brother over a hamburger. Y'all remember that? You remember that? What I'm saying is, we stay out of that. But I don't need them guys to tell me how to think about what I just seen. But the reporter's job, if they're in line with it, they're getting a coinage from the machine. They would dare not criticize it. They care not to criticize it. So how you getting good commentary then if you got a guy getting his coinage from the thing he's supposed to be criticizing? You're not. You're gonna get bull crap. You're gonna get bull joint. But that would be Sean Payton's reply to the cornerback position. He will not talk badly about the depth. He'll talk positively about PJ Williams, but will not say that he looked good as a safety in the final 4 games of the regular season. He was looking good at safety. Now, Patrick Robinson did look good in 2 games last year. The rest of them, he wasn't even on the field. He didn't see action until later on in the year. And if it wasn't for the great Saint Think Tank and Who Dat Nation talking about how much he was getting paid, the guy was the highest paid dime back in the entire NFL. Then we talk about other guys like Keith Washington and Tino Ellis, the undrafted guys that they're bringing in here, who have tremendous upside. But you know that old adage that we always like to talk about, baby. That old adage about not trusting the rookie. Look it up. Look at how many coaches tell you that rookies in the playoffs are only good for losses. The most winningest, experienced coaches say that. Tell me if you ever heard that before. And I've been saying that, how much more proof or evidence you need that you don't want a rookie in any situation that requires him to make a play that will put you ahead. It's because they break down. They just don't have the experience to know what's coming behind it. And they might have played 4 years in college, but that is a lot different than when you wake up into the NFL. Everything's faster. Everything's different. The whole circumstance is different. We know this. It's just don't count on them. And we're going back to that where we have to rely on a secondary as a suspect again. Now I'm saying, damn, I didn't realize how much nickels meant to the equation. But you had all this time to go out, and all these damn people out there in free agency, from Logan Ryan to all of these people sitting out here in free agency. Even defensive end, somebody just signed Deion Jordan the other day. I think that was the Niners or the Seahawks. I don't remember. But the reality is, I realized that I was like, damn, these teams, they're swinging for the fences. Even though we are a loaded roster, you should be still topping off. You should be still topping up. You know what I mean? When you go into the put gas in your vehicle and then the thing click and then you still trying to push it to top it off, and they tell you, don't do that. Don't top off that car. Now you better top that thing off, man. That's what the Saints need to do. They need to top the gas off right here. Add some more pieces to this team. You only have 2 more people you need to add to really put you over the bunch. Get another good defensive end, one of those 2, whether it's Clowney or Griffin, and then go swing for the fences and get your cornerback. I don't care whether it's Logan Ryan or anybody else. And money shouldn't be an option. It shouldn't be an option, especially when you can phantomize their deals, when you can add multiple years into 9 playable years into their contracts like they did A.J. Klein and Drew Brees this year. Come on. Money is not a thing with the Saints, man. For some teams, not with the Saints. They so expensive and so luxurious and so pampered, they can afford to spend $6 million on a backup guard, baby. A backup ass guard he's not even the best backup guard they have. Cameron Tom and these other guys are better, and they can do what he do. They are so luxurious and so high spending, baby, and so fantastic and fabulous that they can afford to spend $6 million on a backup ass guard. Now you tell me about that. You tell me if that makes sense. Who that to your family chiming in the stream as well. Ramsey, who that to you? Who that to you? John Thompson, Ramsey Walls. Who that to your family? Good to see you. John says, will Keith Washington be given a legitimate shot at making a team? I would think so. I would most certainly think so with the losses of Dietrich Nichols from the XFL cornerback. You got to look at it because behind those guys, Justin Hardy to me is not good at cornerbacking. He's like Chris Banjo was when they asked Banjo to play safety for the Saints and realized how dreadful he was as a safety. And it's like, man, this dude got to go because JT Gray can play a little safety and he could be a special teams ace. So that made Chris Banjo expendable. Well, guess whose time it is? Justin Hardy. He started that goddamn pizza restaurant at the right time. I tell you what, he should have started a Hardee's along with it too. Justin Hardy's. That's what he should have did. Because you might get put in the street if you don't know how to play that goddamn cornerback position better. Better be the manager of your own Popeyes or whatever it is. All right, let's keep it going. But yeah, keep Washington definitely, John, should be able to have an opportunity to make this team. So is Tino Ellis. Now, we'll see if they can bring somebody else in, man. We'll see. It all depends, bro. It all depends on what they're willing to do and injuries, because injuries are also a part of it as well. Jonathan Wilson, who that to you? Jonathan, good to see you. Adrian, who that to Adrian in the building as well. Much love to you. GM Kev says, with Lattimore about to be signed long-term, would it be nice to get Derek Stingley Jr. next year? Remember, bro, that dude will be a top 5 pick. He comes into the NFL, that's a top 5 pick. The only way we get him is if we package picks to move up into the top 5. And let me tell you something, it'll be very hard for anybody that's sitting up there to give away that guy and they know that guy is going to be a fantastic cornerback. Let me tell you something. So a lot of people you're going to have to give up the house and the farm to move up there to get him. And I like Stingley Jr. I just don't think the Saints will be that bad where they'll be in the top 5 to be able to get him. By all indications, I want to be number 32 to pick at him. I don't think nobody will do too much with that. And besides, the Saints are not going to use most of those draft picks. For the last several seasons, they've been packaging them and trading them and getting them out because they realize that they don't need that many picks. They're solid, and they've been doing a fantastic job at the undrafted market to be able to make moves. So it's a fantastic thing to have. But I would sincerely hope so, GM Kev, but I don't think so, bro. I think Stingley will be, if he comes out after this season, he'll be a fantastic pickup for a terrible-ass team, probably the Browns or somebody again. Donald says Tom Brady going to learn a whole new offense. Well, he's going to learn pieces of it, but that's true, bro. Majority of that offense is new. They're going to struggle. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard, fam. It's hard. People not looking. They don't understand. That's why, it's good that we have these discussions, because people think it's going to be an instantaneous thing, that he's going to just come down here from New England into Tampa Bay, turn that stinking, rotten, losing-ass corpse of a team into a playoff team in 1 year, and then take the Saints down that's been dominating for the last several seasons. That's not even logical. That's not even logical unless he gets help from the guys in the striped shirts. But even if they try to do that, he would need more help than the guys in the striped shirts to do that. Like I said, the Saints have more than just the talent aspect. It's just the camaraderie, the continuity. Continuity means something. You've been playing in the same system for over 5 years. And I'm talking about on the defense and offense. Special team just got a new special teams coach, but they're excelling what they have, which is a plus. But the offense has been basically under the tutorship of Sean Payton since 2006. Not too much change. He'll alter or shift this type of stuff, but regardless of the time, Sean Payton has had control of his offense. And you'll notice that his offenses get better each year depending on the personnel packages that he uses, which is based upon the players that he have on the team. Now, if you have a Darren Sproles on his team, you'll see a certain package of plays that comes out. That's why Ty Montgomery's here. That's why you got an Alvin Kamara and this type of stuff. But imagine if Sean Payton had 2 Alvin Kamaras, Alvin Kamara A, and then a 2 or 3 level Kamara B that's worse than the number 1. With those 2 guys, he could put them on the field. See, you see what I'm saying? I'm just using that example to show you with his personnel groupings, his imagination then twists these plays into existence. And that's what I'm saying. If you had 2 Alvin Kamaras on the same field, then Sean Payton would be able to employ them on the field differently. He can use one in the running back, slide one to the slot. You see what I'm saying? So with the personnel packages that he have, it creates an offense that is very dynamic. So if you are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach and you're looking at the Saints saying, we're going to take them down. Yeah, maybe you're looking at beating last year's representation of what the Saints was, but you have absolutely no idea what they're going to look like this year, baby. This team here is going to be 3 times better. It's going to be twice better than the last 2 or 3 reincarnations of itself. I'm telling you. because of the personnel groupings that you have. Guys that can play inside and out, the wide receiver position, tight end position, the flexibility, the versatility of players that are certain, or running backs that can play wide receivers, that are tight ends that can play wide receivers, that are running backs that can play wide receivers, that are, this, that, and the third. It's hard to game plan for that. And you can employ a multitude of different package plays. You can bring the 3 tight end setback, which they could run the running game in there. See what I'm saying? This is a different look than what you've seen last year. And I can say that next year, if they keep them upright and stay healthy like they did in the prior season before Drew got hurt last year, then you could see 4 receivers on the Saints team catching 40 passes or more, like it was several seasons ago, when the Saints had 4 wide receivers with 40-plus receptions in the same year. Absolutely insane. But that is the hallmark of what a great Sean Payton offense is. A super great offense, because they had some that will appear and some that were here. This one has an opportunity to be better than anything that we ever seen before. And you're going to think Tom Brady's going to deal with that? Tom Brady don't play defense, and he can't move that well. You put enough pressure on him, you'll fold him like a lawn chair. Bottom line. He's just a statue back there. He can slide all he want, but it's almost so much sliding you're going to do. Appreciate that, Donald. All right, big ups to the family members as well chiming in. Let's see who else got in the comments. Kevin says so much potential, but injuries and off-field stuff. Jonathan says he's ready for some football. I got you. Randy says Tom Brady even talked about the difficulties learning a new system. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. He says, will we be hearing from Reverend Big Q? You probably hear from him later on in the broadcast there, Jonathan. I hear you. A lot of people been called for the Rev lately, Reverend Saint, man. Kevin says, it don't seem like that's about to happen. Green Bay and Indianapolis going after him hard. Green Bay is going to land on Griffin. They've been talking back and forth. They're going to work them numbers out. Lori says Cam is going to tear up Tom Brady this year. I agree. Thank you, Lori. Glenn says CBS Sports believes that Marcus Davenport has J.J. Watt potential. Agree. I would say that's a compliment to say that you got J.J. Watt. He does have J.J. Watt potential. Naturally, what he did last year, if you look at his rookie tape and his last year tape, he's not using, it's strength and athleticism. The kid is big. I mean, what's Davenport, 6'5"? He's what, how tall is Davenport? I won't say 6'5". Actually, I won't say 6'7". Is he that tall? I don't know. Let me look it up right quick. Let me just, check it out right quick here. I won't say he's 6'6". He either 6'6" or 6'7". I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't remember. Sometimes I do. But correct me in the chat. I won't say that he's 6'6" or 6'7". I'm gonna find out here in a second here what he is. Y'all let me know in the chat what he is. But I won't say he's 6'6". Either 6'6" or 6'7". That's what's pulling in my head right now. I'll pull it up right quick. But that's what I'm saying, man, is that when you have the guy's a freak athletically. That's the thing. He's not that much. He's not fundamental. He picking up on stuff. You know what I'm saying? But imagine if the kid had the ability to have just some of Dwight Freeney's moves, or Robert Mathis moves with that spin move like Mathis used to do. That Mathis move was something special. 6'6". The kid's 6'6", man. 265. I just looked it up. 6'6". But he's athletically gifted. That means a lot of the stuff that you've seen him doing over the last several seasons is off of his athleticism and strength and athleticism. He's not that fundamental just yet. Okay, not yet. And the reason why he's not there yet is because the injuries. The injuries stalling his development out. So you got a 6'6" guy. What they were making potential comparisons to guys like Javine Curse, Ziggy Ansah before he had the injuries. Daniil Hunter is another comparison that they make it to him. The guy that destroyed the Saints last year, Minnesota Vikings, opposite of Everson Griffin. This guy is talented. He could be that. Remember, Daniil Hunter wasn't Daniil Hunter until 2 or 3 years ago when he finally got online. He finally learned how to play the position because he was constantly out there and developing to that. I expect every bit of it. Now, J.J. Watt is the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? J.J. Watt is ceiling because there have not been too many guys. You might put J.J., you could put up there Cam, but there are very few guys that's doing that level of production. J.J. Watt could have had a lot more. He's dealing with a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why Cam catching him, because he took off to a rocket start and Cam was slow and steady, like the tortoise and the hare. That's the story of J.J. Watt and Cam Jordan. But Cam has crept up slowly because Cam didn't miss much time due to injuries, where J.J. Watt will miss lots of games. But I like the J.J. Watt comparison, but I like the Danielle Hunter comparison a lot better, because Danielle Hunter is basically what he could be once he figures it out and then gets on the field of play. So Danielle Hunter to me would be a better comparison, although I really like J.J. Watt, the super production. So either way, you can't miss. Thank you, Glenn, for that. Appreciate the question, buddy. Bishop, one love. Who that to you, Bishop? Good to see you. Thank you for chiming in, fam. Derek says, Cam need to push for Griffin. I think he don't want to shake Davenport's confidence. Yep. That's true, Derek. That's a part of it, bro. Donald says, Bruce Arians lied to Jameis Winston when he got there. Told him he was his quarterback. Yeah, they often do that. Sean Payton did the same damn thing, so he must have been taking notes from Bruce Arians when he was doing it. He told why he was telling Jameis Winston. Bruce Arians was telling Jameis Winston that. Sean Payton was telling Teddy Bridgewater that. You're my quarterback. That's what we want you to sign. Then he go sneak back there and tell Taysom Hill, hey, you're Steve Young and you're my quarterback. And then he turn around and go get on the phone and call Drew and beg him back. Sean Payton was being a player last year. That's what he was doing. He was being a dirty player. He was being an underhanded, dirty player. He was speaking sweet nothings in the ear of Teddy Bridgewater and tell him, you're going to be my quarterback. Then turn around on the phone and go talk to Taysom Hill and tell him, hey, you're my guy. You're going to hold the quarterback. And then go on the phone, turn around and go on the phone and beg Drew back. Let me tell you something. No matter what Bruce Arians told Jameis Winston, Sean Payton had him beat 3 times over, baby. So Bruce Arians must have took lessons from Sean Payton. And it worked because he got 2 of the 3 he was talking to. So he ain't turned out to be such a bad, dirty player at all. That's wrong, baby. You can't do it like that, baby. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's see. Laurie, in that interview, you can hear it in his voice that he's ready to do some damage. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he tired of hearing the stuff about him. Davenport's sick of people asking him, are you healthy? Oh, are you healthy? Yeah, you know, and it was the man telling him, hey, Davenport, can you back up off the mic? Because Davenport, if somebody would ask him another question about whether he would have tore all that shit out the socket. He would have took all that computer. Ask me no more questions about my health. I'm tired of y'all with this. I'm healthy. Okay, we're sorry, Marcus, but can you give us a percentage on your health? A percentage? A percentage? I'm healthy. You know, but it's just, it's what it is, man. There's only so many questions you can ask because they all cookie cutter. Y'all know that, man. If you got somebody like me standing up there asking questions, you're going to get some sports. You're going to get some shit. You're going to learn something. Because I'm not going to ask them questions like those guys do. I'm going to ask you some stuff that the people really want to know. We want to know. We want to know because most of the people asking the questions are not fans of the team. They're just getting paid by the paper or whoever to cover the team. Them suckers might come from up north somewhere. You never know. You might never know. You might have been a Minnesota Viking fan taking a job down here. You never know. That's how I go in the game. You'd be fortunate to get a Bob Rose or somebody like that actually know the team and cover the team. You'd be really lucky to get that. You see what I'm saying? A guy like that knows the team and know what the questions are from the people because they're in touch with them. You got something there when you got guys like them and Kyle Mosley and people like that know what the people want to know, and then they learn that information and present it to you in a respectable fashion. That's what it's about, baby. That's what it's about. I don't want no milquetoast questions because you don't want to lose your press badge. I want to know some facts. All right, let's move on here. Crash says, I like Davenport, the player. However, his track record, health-wise, is the reason why I want another dog opposite of Cam. That's very well said. I agree with that. He says he needs legit help, not just another guy. Trey H isn't good enough. Thank you, Crass. A lot of people say, Q, what about Hendrickson? And I'll say right back at him, what about him? What about him? Can he stay healthy? And I'm like, man, how is he Davenport's backup when he more hurt than Davenport? You don't have no experience. That's why Marcus Hunt's here. And they saying, well, Q, there's a lot more into it than mine. I have to agree with you. Marcus Hunt's more than just a signing. Remember when they signed Malcolm Brown? Marcus Hunt's more than just a base signing here. Marcus Hunt could play the Trey Hendrickson position as well as slide back inside if you need him to. He's a big guy, and I think he's 6'7", 6'8", another huge defensive end / tackle prospect that's big, huge, but not big, slow, and plodding, big, slow, feet stuck in the soil, drag his feet when he walking type of player. He's a big, nimble guy that's not only big, but knows how to use his size and is intelligent. Marcus Hunt is a dark horse here. Marcus Hunt is a dark horse. So I will agree with people say, Q, what about Hunt? Yeah, and I would say, you know what? Hunt is it. And for Uncle Paulie, old school, Uncle Paulie will tell you about Chauncey and Marcus. And it just so happens, if y'all remember, Marcus the Magnificent is an old show that used to play in New Orleans many years ago. Many y'all, my experienced family know what I'm talking about. But the crazy part about Marcus the Magnificent is it was two of them. It was Marcus the Magnificent and his bumbling, stumbling, huge sidekick Chauncey. Remember? And Chauncey used to wear the big old, what looked like potato sacks or whatever, and he had an executioner's mask over his. He used to mess up stuff, drop stuff, and Marcus used to insult him. Well, I say that because you got Marcus Hunt, who's on the team, and then you got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So that's really crazy. You got Marcus Hunt over here, Chauncey. So that Marcus the Magnificent thing really works here because we got Marcus and Chauncey on the same team. That's funny. That's funny because that's man, listen. Y'all like, see, I'm telling y'all be like, whatever, Q. But I'm saying, man, how extremely different those names are. You ain't going to find a Chauncey in the league. I guarantee you guys, there's not 3 Chaunceys in the entire NFL. And there's not 2 Marcuses in the NFL. So how did a Chauncey and a Marcus end up on the same damn team in New Orleans where Marcus the Magnificent show was popular? You think about that for a second. I know it's just some stuff I'm throwing at, but that's crazy. Anyway, that's just how my mind works, family. Let's keep going. Kevin says, GM Kev said, don't play around with the pass rush. There it is. That's my saying, baby. We're going to put that on the shirt, by the way. Don't play around with the pass rush. Blake Barr says, I'd like the Saints to get Patrick Surtain in the next. Yeah, his son. Yeah, I heard about his son is actually pretty good. Slide him into the mix with Lattimore and Jenkins. That would be a nice move, man. That would be really nice. Crash said, I really wanted to see what Dietrich Nicholson do. I'm with you, family. Tro Blue, what up, Tro? Good to see you. Crash says, Surtain, didn't his dad play for the Dolphins? Yep. It's his son, Surtain Jr. Yeah, he's pretty good out there, man. He's pretty good. All right, let's keep it going here. Damn, it just jumped on me, family. Give me just a second. Let me get back where I was at. Randy says, why we let go Darnell Sankey? I don't know, bro. I don't know why we let go Sankey. I like Sankey at linebacker. I don't know why. They let him go last preseason and didn't practice squad him, which was like, what? Even Deuce McAllister said Sankey should make the team, man. And when he didn't make it, Deuce would say, man, that's wrong, man. Sankey did everything. And it wasn't just Sankey. It was LaJardan Humphrey, and it was also Devine Zigbo. They did everything. Well, Q, he fumbled the ball. Man, people make one mistake. You had guys that was dropping passes. You got guys that didn't play no games. Mario Edwards Jr. ain't played no games last year and still made the team. So, I mean, it's like who they want. But we went through the whole preseason, and we went through all those players. We're talking about Emmanuel Butler. We're talking about LaJardan Humphrey. We're talking about Devine Zigbo. We're talking about Darnell Sankey. We're talking about all those players, and Sean Payton put them all in the street. I'm like, man, what the hell are we doing this for? You could have saved me a month. I could take a month off. I'm talking about all these people and all the shit they doing, and he put them all on the street. Like, what, huh? Hey, bro, that's how it goes sometimes. B. Jizzle says, really love your show. You know the sport, and you know it well. Who freaking that? Thank you, B. Jizzle. Appreciate you, bro. You got that B. Jizzle. That's all. That's that old BG name, old BG handle. I think he's still locked up, man. Old B. Jizzle. Glenn Witt says, Nick East played solid when they played him late in the season. Probably should have used him instead of Warford in the Vikings game. You know what, Glenn, you might be right on that, bro. Nick Easton played well late in the season, but the truth be told, Larry Warford has been outplaying Nick Easton his entire career. Larry Warford gets the blame for all that stuff that happened last year because he was the only member of the Saints starting lineup on both lines that was put in the street. They had to blame it on somebody. We talked about this before. And I was like, man, that is absolute bull. You know what? And I'm trying to cut it out. Because Reverend Saint said, say, baby, listen here, baby. We got the children. He said children. He don't say children. He said children. He said children. That's how Reverend Saint talked. And I did this while my head went to the side like a dog that was confused. You know how you do something and the dog don't? He go like that. So I'm like, Ray say, yeah, baby, you got to cut it out, baby. You got to trim it down, baby. You got to churn, listen, baby. And I was like, you know what, Reverend Saint, you got it, baby. Thank you, baby. See, I like you, baby, baby. You listen, baby. You listen, baby. He did this. Like, what's that? And I was like thinking about, I was like, that's how you handle that switchblade. He pull out that switchblade and then he whip it like that, and then it got the longest. Go like that. That's, yeah, baby, let me tell you something, baby. All right, Reverend Saint, I got you, baby. I got you. But Warford got the blame for that, is what I'm saying. He got the blame for that. He got the blame for that, and that's wrong. Because how you going to blame a guy that's played for the Saints for 3 years and got a total of 3 Pro Bowls? How do you blame him? Well, he the problem. You did what he messed up. Man, absolutely not, man. He was the fall guy in that whole scenario, man. They could have. They said he won't rework his deal and all this kind of nonsense. Come on, bro. Get out of here with that. And then is it really his problem? They really needed his money that bad, and you got Nick Easton sitting on a team making $6 million, $1 million more than what he was making, but it was really about money. See, you can't tell us everything. You can't tell us anything. You can't tell me nothing, Kanye. You hear me? Bottom line is this: is that he had an opportunity last year, and he played really well. He played better than Easton. He played better than a lot of guys on that line. But Sean Payton's line was blown up, interiorly speaking, and they had more than just Easton. There was McCoy, there was Easton, and there was also Pete. But Pete got rewarded a 5-year deal, 5.76, I think it was, second or third largest contract for an offensive guard in the league. So how do you punish Larry Warford and say, well, we needed the money, Q? But, How did you need the money when you still got Easton out here? See, it would have worked. It would have worked, bro, if you would have said, well, listen, you know, they would have got rid of Easton before Larry Warford, then got rid of Warford. That could have worked. But you can't tell me the money was the issue and you got a luxury item called Nick Easton with $6 million as a backup guard. Come on. Miss me with the Larry Warford was the problem situation. He was the only one they got rid of. No, man. No, absolutely not. You can't tell me Larry Warford was the problem when he was playing better than most of them. He had 3 straight Pro Bowls in the 3 years that he played for the Saints. He ain't have no Pro Bowls before he got here, but he elevated his game once he got here and was one of their best interior offensive linemen. But he got put in the street because of a contract for $7 million, and you keep Easton for $6 million, and you pay Andrews Pete $57 million? No, partner. No. And then you look at the defensive line. Oh, the defensive line was fine last year. The defensive line was fine in the playoffs. They stopped the run in the playoffs. They sacked Kirk Cousins not 2 times, but 7 times. And be like, Q, what game was you watching? They didn't get to Kirk Cousins. I know. They didn't stop the run either, Q. They let the backup running back run on them just like the starting running back. I know. So how do you justify getting rid of Warford and say he was the guy? Absolutely not. Cut this out. Politics at its finest. You know, politics at its finest. You didn't need that money that bad. If you needed, you got rid of Easton. He's $1 more million less than what the other guy paying. You think the Saints gonna haggle over $1 million? The guys that created the art of creating phantom contracts and deals? Come on. Commonsensical, baby. Bottom line. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He got hit with the charge that we got rid of him because he was the problem. Larry Warford wasn't the problem. All of them was stinking it up. All of them was stinking it up in the interior offensive line. And so was the defensive line. How did the defense get a clean bill of health on this one when they couldn't stop the run or couldn't get to the pass at all? How do you then not go out into free agency and say, man, we got to get another defensive end? Did you remember that game, how we got our tails handed to us? So how do you have selective vision to only pinpoint the frailties of your interior offensive line, but negate to look at the defense? Huh? They couldn't run. They couldn't pass offensively, and they could not stop the run, and they could not get to the quarterback defensively. So how do we just say Walford was the issue? Come on, man. It's more than this. It's more than this. But they won't cover no story. I guarantee you they won't write no articles on that. Let's keep it going here. B. Jizzle says, okay, I just read that one. Thank you, fam. Ramsey says, if the Saints are in the Super Bowl or a bust year, why are they not shoring up the pass rush with Griffin and Clowney? That's a smart man down there. Let's give him a round of applause right here, man. You see what I'm saying? You know what? We got to break out the statistics. Let's break out the sound effects, family. We got to break out the sound effects when the family members, because they got a lot of smart family members out here. Let's break out the sound effects for the family members here, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get there. One more time for the people in the back row sitting here. Clap like you're at church, like this. Like you're at church. All right. There we go. Thank you. See, I gave the man a round of applause because that was the proper response, and that's common sense. That's how we know we got smart people on this show that don't eat the tripe that everybody else spit out to them. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that was a great question to comment, and that's where we are. Because we're sensible. We're more sensible to have somebody tell us that Walford was the problem, but you don't do nothing to the defense. Then the same thing that happened the last 2 previous years, you don't expect it to happen this year. And if we are any people that pay attention to trends, and most people do pay attention to trends, then why are we not shoring up the line? It's not a disrespect to Davenport if you can't perform the job because you're hurt. No, that means that the mere fact that you're not there, somebody has to be there who's competent enough to do the job that you can't do because you're unable to do it because you sit up at the home because your body can't handle to the rigors of the season. And your backup is more fragile than you are. So that speaks volumes. And also, it's like, man, damn, if we could get him, that'll put us where we need to be. Because the addition of this player, either Clowney or Griffin, puts Davenport on a time window that is not a full window. He becomes a situational pass rusher, which is basically what he is right now. It brings him in slowly back into the team as opposed to throw him out there after 2 years of showing you that he can't handle it. Perhaps we need to take a different approach, a more David Griffin type approach with Zion Williamson. Remember that stupidness when he had 11 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, and now he said he's going to play 30 minutes and whatever a game. And then yesterday he didn't even play. Pelican Post game report tonight too, fam, just to let y'all know. But it goes to show you that how you in the same building with these people, but you don't have the same mentality. Davenport should be brung along slowly. He should be brung along slowly. He's been hurt since he was in college. We drafted him hurt. A lot of people don't realize that. We drafted this man hurt. He had surgery right after the draft. I'm like, how the Saints missed that? No, they knew. They knew he was hurt and brought him. He's been hurt. So you got to bring this man along slowly is what I'm saying, fam. And then having a starting caliber defensive end that's seen a lot of the battles, the deep playoff runs like a Griffin or, and Clowney, I don't know so much about that, but a guy like Griffin, which would be my pick, would be a guy that comes in and then Davenport can not only learn from Cam, but he can learn from him too. And it'll make life easier on Davenport and Cam Jordan. It would. It's a win-win in my book. For whatever reason, they continue to come out here with this foolishness that, hey, we straight, Davenport's going to be healthy. What proof did you have that he's going to go the entire season? Present it to me. And I was like, we don't have a crystal ball. I know you don't have a crystal ball, but obviously you didn't have a goddamn crystal ball 2 years ago when you drafted him and last year when he kept getting hurt. You need insurance. Where's the insurance for this man is what I'm saying. You got insurance named Nigel Bratham for Kiko Alonso. Where is the insurance policy for Davenport? Put it in the chat for me, family. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. I want the family members to enlighten me and tell me what's the insurance policy just in case Davenport gets hurt. And also tell me the insurance policy if one of our three guys, which is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Marshawn Lattimore, and the Jackrabbit, if any of those guys get hurt, where's the insurance policy for them as well? There's nothing wrong with insurance. You know, it's the same people say, I don't need no insurance, too expensive. Then somebody run into their ass out there on the interstate. They looking foolish. Look, it's something that you rather have now. Matter of fact, they got intelligent families in the world. They're using life insurance as a way to extend generational wealth, baby. I'm telling you, this is an old thing that's been happening for a long time. A lot of people from out of the country use it to insure their people. You got a lot of siblings put together on $1 million policy for their grandmother or grandfather who's up in age. And when they pass on, they all split the insurance policy, and it helps elevate the economic base in the entire structure. Most people are not sophisticated to know that's how it works in terms of using the strategy sophistication, not intelligence, but knowing the strategy to utilize it to their benefit, to their family's benefit. The insurance policy for a Davenport and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Marshawn Lattimore, and a Jackrabbit, where is it? We'll get into that. Okay, let's keep it going now. Thank you. Tro says, I like Washington. He did well against those Bama receivers. I remember him. He did, bro. Both of them got good size. I kind of favor Ellis a little bit better because he has that aggressiveness, he seems to be more aggressive. But Washington, I think he might be a little bit more heady. So these could be young guys that can maybe step in there. But do you think Sean Payton's going to give these young guys an opportunity to actually get on the field? Defensive back's a different thing. All right, let's keep it going here. Demi says, did I hear Popeyes? I think I did mention it. Scoop says, B Jizzle Q is a real one, fam. Thank you, Scoop. Bishop says he got 2 more years anyway, right? DJ, a sophomore this season, right? You're right. He's a sophomore this year. That's right. Let's see. Demi says, okay, but I really thought I heard Popeyes. I did say it, Demi. I was telling Justin Hardy should open up a Hardee's or a Popeyes to go with that Papa John's. I would have went Popeyes, man. I need one Popeyes. Just give me one Popeyes and I'm done. I'm good. That's all I need. One Popeyes. I don't need no Papa John's. Give me the Popeyes. One Popeyes, I'm good. One Popeyes, I'm good. When the last time Popeyes gave your ass a deal? What a Popeyes dollar menu at? There is no such thing. When you go to Popeyes, baby, you gonna pay. But people be in there running the Popeyes like they got something in the chicken that's addictive. They probably do. But Popeyes, man, listen. One Popeyes, damn that Papa John's. Give me that Popeyes. That's what I'm talking about. All right, keep it going here. Laura says he won with Teddy Bridgewater. He's a great coach. Yeah, he is. He used the offense, balanced it, did a terrific job, no doubt about it. Crash says Ty Montgomery is a sleeper pick. He has good ability at this level. I agree. Derek says if Sean Payton used him, he would be best out. Kevin said I think the offense will be fine this year. The question will be on defense, mainly secondary. Thank you. Adrian says hit the like button, holler at Big Q with the question. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate it. I know she probably can't hear me on there. Her phone might be messed up, but I'd like to give her a shout out and tell her thank you for posting that, and the rest of the family members for posting that in the live chat as well. Who that to you? Ty going to be a good pick for Sean Payton offense. Donald says Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense all over the place. Crash says, Kevin, you are right, but aren't we saying that defense every year with this team? Defense is always a step behind during Payton's era. That is true. But he has a defensive coordinator that he respects, that he's on par with what he's doing, and I think he'll be fine. All right, but that's true. It was until he had a defensive coordinator that he respected. He gives Dennis Allen whatever he wants, and I'm happy. And then that's the thing about Sean Payton. He found defensive and special team people he respects. Like when he had Bradford Banter and Paul Westphal and all these guys here, he didn't respect them guys. He used to mean mug the piss out there. How you mean mug a grown-ass man? And I'm pretty sure them dudes was a lot older than – I know Paul Westphal was so – Paul West – whatever his name, Weston, whatever his name is, I forget it. He was so old, he was out there walking with a cane. I wouldn't dare. And then he got his grandpa. I look mean mugging my grandpa. I'm a grown-ass man, mean mugging my grandpa. Who are you looking at like that? Come over here, knock the smile off you, man. You know, that's how them old people get. You can't mean mug the old people, man. Cut it out. Crash says, let's see. Ram says, Q, I can see us having a lot of mistakes on offense with no preseason or training camp. Well, bro, you're right. But remember, that's how it is every season. And I've said it constantly. Every year I say it over and over again, bro, is that when you come out to the season, they don't play the offensive key pieces anyway. I ain't say anyway. I say anyway. Anyway. That's also another name, another word that Reverend Saint uses. Anyway. He says anyway a lot. That's picking up bad habits from him. But the reality is the first 3 or 4 weeks, it takes the team 3 weeks to get on par. I've said that. You're going to see sloppy football the first 3 weeks, and then 3 to 4 weeks, they started kicking. It takes at least 3 to 4 weeks or a month for them to get on par with what a traditional regular Saints offense look like, because they're not playing them in the preseason anyway. I mean, my bad, anyway. They're not playing them there. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. We're going to look shabby in the first month of football. Hopefully we can just run the ball and make it look decent, you know. All right. Donald says Marcus is 6'7". Okay, yeah, I just came up with that. Thank you, fam. Donald says the freak was good in Tennessee Titans and Philadelphia Eagles, man. Great pass rusher. They were comparing this kid to that man because of his athleticism and his size. He's a natural born speedster, very fast, has quick hands. If he can learn some of the technical stuff, you know, to add with that strength and that size and that speed, you talking Danielle Hunter. You talking about the Saints having Danielle Hunter here. Now, hopefully he gets to that level very fast. Troll says you got to remember J.J. Watt was a defensive end, defensive tackle hybrid. That is true too. Very true. Crash says I see shades of Julius Peppers. Wow. Got it. That is really that's phenomenal, because Peppers was 6'6" too. I want to say, yeah, he was 6'6" too. Man, could you imagine if we can get some Peppers out of Davenport? Man, that's exciting, man. That one right there got me bucked to get him there. That's amazing. Uncle Paula said I used to love how Pat Swilling and Ricky Jackson had great spin moves rushing the QB back in the day. We get that fundamental aspect in it, we'll be doing fine, man. Okay. Just give me just a second, family. I'm going to text my daughter. She's about to leave. All right. All right. Sorry about that, family. Appreciate y'all. Okay, let's keep it going. All right. Troll says, yeah, I can see him become the next Peppers. Superstar Louisiana boy, who that to your family? Donald says, J.J. Watt is great, but not in his prime no more. Give me Reggie White. Who would you pick, Bruce Smith or Reggie White? Good grief, man. Good grief. Bruce Smith or Reggie White. You can't go wrong with either one of them dudes, man. You know, I think Bruce Whitten, who has the top sack record? I think Bruce Smith got Reggie White beat with sacks because Bruce didn't go anywhere. He stayed in Buffalo his whole career and played with that tough Buffalo defense. Man, boy, was Bruce Smith something else, man. Reggie White was special, man. He was with the Eagles, and then he went on to Carolina. In Green Bay, he was 3 different teams he moved around. But I can't go wrong with either one of them dudes, man. If you force me to take a choice, bro, I'd take Bruce Smith. I would take Bruce Smith because I know how Bruce Smith used to play. And Reggie White was a beast. He could do that inside and outside. He was like a big defensive interior lineman that could pass rush. You know, he was a freak. You could barely block him. So I would say Bruce Smith, bro. But that's tough, man. Either one of them dudes. But I would say Bruce Smith. Reggie was awesome, but I got to say Bruce Smith. I think Bruce got him beat on the sack tip, too, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you for that question, bro. All right, let's keep it going here. Donald says, me too, Reggie White is the greatest defensive player ever. He up there, bro. Reggie's awesome, man. True said, Marcus Hunt has a knack for blocking kicks. Blake says, I saw Marcus Hunt up close at the Colts game in the Dome. He a bad mug. Inevitable. Who that to you, Inevitable? Good to see you in the chat, man. He says he probably would have. Hold on. I think it might have jumped on me. Yeah, dude. He says, I wonder how Deion would do in today's NFL, though. Wide receivers are a lot bigger and faster, and cornerbacks can't grab and hold like they used to. I think he would be fine because in the end, I think he would do fine because Deion was intelligent and he had the speed. He didn't have to touch you to beat you. And remember the time Deion would he would back off of them and give them that ability, then catch up with them. Deion was smart and fundamental. He would do great at any phase or any time or era of football you put him with. He would be fine. Bottom line. So I would have to go with Deion. Deion, it don't make a difference. Deion timeless, man. Deion had the speed to play in any era and the intelligence to do so too. Had total body control. He played some of the most dangerous wide receivers. He guarded Jerry Rice. He guarded the Chris Carters. He guarded, all type of people that we won't even talk about that'll tear you up. He guided guys like, Anthony Carter before he fell off the map. He had dangerous guys like, what's his name? It's so many of them, man, that was out during that time that Deion had to guard. And he shut a lot of those guys down, man. He had to go against the Michael Irvins, the position tops. It was just a fan. He'll excel at any level, fam. He'll excel at any level. Okay. All right, that's my daughter again. All right, let's keep it going, man. All right, let's see here. Oh, Inevitable says, I wonder how okay, I answered that. Thank you, Inevitable, for that question. Who that to you too, my family. Big ups to you. Carlito. Good to see you, Carlito, in the building as well. Inevitable says he probably would have, but I think he would struggle against Julio, Kelvin, or T.O. guys like that because they're huge. I don't think so. I think Deion would have been able to play those guys too. He ain't known for his physicality, but you piss him off, man, you had a whole nother thing to deal with. Jermaine says, I will stick to my guns. We need another pass rusher. Crash says, IE, excellent point. It's a new league now. If you sneeze on a wide receiver, 15-yard penalty, but the great ones adjust their game. Thank you, fam. Randy says, hold on, family. Hey, mama. Here you go. Come here, mama. You about to go? You leaving me? Huh? Come on. Let me let the great Saint think tank. Come on, mama. Mama, look. You're looking the wrong way, mama. Mama. You're looking the wrong way, mama. Mama, look. You gotta look this way, mama. Look. Mama. Gotta look the other way. There you go. Hey, say hey, everybody. How you doing? Say hello. Oh, she a little shy. All right. Give me some sugar. All right. All right. Let me see you later here, babe. Be good. Be careful. All right. Sorry about that, fam. I gotta kiss them babies. Gotta kiss the babies, man. All right. Let's keep it going here, family. Let's see Uncle Paulie. Thank you there, Uncle Paulie. I'm going to try to get through some of these, fam. Remember the live lines open, 504-475-4482, 504-475-4482. Let's keep it going here. Kamrasa says, oofers, that sucks from an entertainment standpoint. Preseason was canceled, right? Don't remember. Yeah, it was canceled, Kenrasa. Kevin says, tell the QB to throw that ball and watch us going back to the house for pick 6. That's an anticipation skills was off the chain, man, with Deion Sanders, too. All right. Uncle Paul says Simon Fletcher was very quick off the edge back in the day. Yep, Fletcher, I remember. Uncle Paul, the old school, man. He'd be calling all the good names. All right, let's keep it going here. All right, Donald says he went to Washington Redskins for 3. Oh, did he? I didn't realize that. Oh, he did. Sure did. That sure did. All right, he sure did. I forgot about those years. But I forgot about it. He should have retired the build, man. That was wrong for him to do him like that. All right, let's keep it going here. All right, thank you, Donald. Appreciate you, man. That's my lil mama, I call him. Paul says the Poses, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, Gary Clark were great for the Redskins. Oh, those dudes were terrific, man. Those are terrific. Okay, who else we got? Ray Long, who that to you, Ray? Good to see you in the chat as well. Let's see, we got there. Jermaine. Yep, Jermaine, that's right, fam. Scoop says super low case, Q. That's just little one. She's beautiful, Q. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, fam. That's the little one there. But yeah, that's the thing, man, that the family, but we talk about a lot of the great stuff today, family, about tied to with the Saints. Like, watching them go through this phase, you see the addition of the linebackers, you see the addition of the of Fowler to the team. Quality additions, mind you. But it seems to me this might be the only deal we might have here in terms of picking up talent. In a bubble, they're sitting in the Lowe's Hotel in a mini bubble, which they won't be inclined to add people as quick. That's more of a incentive not to add people because of all the stuff you had to go through to get them into the team, the testing and everything. Like you heard Davenport said, and in the interview that we're being, Emmanuel Sanders saying in the interview that they're being tested every day and all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting, man, to see none the least. 504-475-4482. Live lines are open. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. Live lines open. Who that to you, Chemo? I see you, family. Chemo Slice in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you as well. Who that to you? Big ups to you. Uncle Paulie says Kevin Art Monk was great, durable, and cat quick. Them three wide receivers Washington had were all they were the best trio of wide receivers the NFL ever seen. Trio. They go down in history as the greatest trio of wide receivers that ever existed. Got to give it to them. Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, man, those dudes, they were awesome. And Gary Clark, they were awesome together. That Redskins offense was super fantastic. But 504-475-4482, live lines open, family. If you want to chime in, drop your call. Okay, we're getting a call right here. Oh, man, somebody might have been calling the whole time. And nobody here. All right, family, thank you for calling Sports Coma. We got you on. Who's on the line?
It's Donald, man.
What's going on, Donald? How you feeling, brother?
I got a question.
All right.
Who is the greatest defensive player ever? Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White?
The greatest defensive player ever, and you giving me Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White?
Yeah, I am.
Damn, Donald, man.
Because me personally, I love Lawrence. Reggie White.
Lawrence Taylor. I got to go with Taylor, bro. I got to go. I got to go with Taylor, bro, because Lawrence, listen, Reggie White is a wildebeest. Listen,
man,
he awesome. You put him anywhere, he dominates. Defensive tackle, he dominating. But Lawrence Taylor revolutionized the position. Lawrence Taylor, he was absolutely fantastic. But then again, that's like splitting hairs right there. No matter which one you come up with, it's a winner answer. But what you think about it, Donald? Would you say you like Reggie? Huh?
I like Reggie. I mean, Reggie was. He pushed out of the way he was pushing linemen out of the way to get to that quarterback. I mean, just straight up pushed them. It was over with.
Damn. Yeah,
you had said Bruce Smith over Reggie White. I'd never do that.
Bruce Smith to me, bro. Reggie, not listen.
Well, Bruce Smith was on the Buffalo Bills teams.
I know. That's my recollection of Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith was what didn't get the fanfare and the hype that a Reggie White got, because Reggie White deserved everything else. But Bruce Smith was formidable in his own right. That's why I said Bruce Smith, because I was paying attention to them old Buffalo Bills teams of the day. And if you go head on head, bro, you know what? Let me. I don't know if Bruce got him beat on sacks. Something telling me he got him beat.
He got 200. Reggie got he got 200. Reggie got 198
by 2 sacks.
2 sacks, and Bruce had to go to the Washington Redskins to break it.
That's true. He was chasing him for a long time. He didn't get him to the back end of his career. Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Because he was playing with Darryl Green. Darryl Green, he another one.
Yep.
Nadal Green was short.
Yeah, he was way short. That sucker was still running 4.4s in his 40s.
Yeah, and today he can run. He was like today. They say he run a 4.3 at 50 years old.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's fast, man.
That's unbelievable and incredible, bro.
I think he took care of his body all those years.
Mm-hmm.
But then he stood with one team his whole career.
Yep, sure did. He was with
Deion
Washington.
and Diaz though. Deion went for the money.
Yeah, Deion went everywhere. He left Atlanta, went to San Fran, got a bowl, then left and went to Dallas, and I think that was it. Huh?
Yeah, but that Dallas team wasn't. First of all, I keep talking about that. First of all, that first season he went to Dallas, they won. They were great, but see, after that, those next 4 or 5 years, that was terrible, awful, atrocious. I thought about it. The best team he ever went to was the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken Norton was on that team.
Yeah, Ken Norton was. They had everybody on that team.
Tim
McDonald. They had Ricky Jackson. Ricky was on that team. Charles Mann, Dexter Manley,
Tail Cook.
Yep, Toy Cook was on there. Eric Wright was on there with Deion, and then they had Merton Hanks and Ricky Waters. Brent Jones was on that team. They had everybody, bro. The common policy and Eddie DeBartolo bought a Super Bowl that year. Yep, Eric Davis. Yeah, he was on there starting opposite of Deion.
That was a super team. People don't talk about that though.
No, that's the year when DeBartolo and Common Policy bought a championship that year. They bought one.
That's basically what they did.
Yep.
That's basically what they did.
Yep.
But Deion, put it this way: who would you take, Deion or Dal Green?
Deion, bro. No doubt about it. That's an easy one, bro. As great as Darryl Green was, I gotta rock with Deion. Deion is the prototype. He's where every cornerback since he retired is go after. They wear his number and they study his tape to be just like him. He is the model of what it takes, what they see as the perfect cornerback. Just like people go like LeBron and the rest of them look at Jordan as the template.
But here's the problem. The media lies about LeBron, though. People don't talk about that, though.
Yeah, he got quite the machine behind him,
bro. He got bombs on TV, live from on TV, bro.
Yeah.
And the media just take that, bro. And I'm like, y'all crazy. How can y'all put, first of all, I can't get over, how can you put him over Kobe? Over Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. That's what I don't get.
I mean, it's the era, bro, and the NBA gonna do that, man. It's gonna promote its star currently.
I know.
Yeah.
To me personally, but you know who the best player in the world is right now? It's Kawhi Leonard. But they never say that.
No, you won't get him to say that. He's phenomenal too, man. Inside, outside, plays as aggressively on offense as he does on defense. Perfect two-way player. Is under control, doesn't have an ego, team centered, takes over the games in the proper moment. He's the anti-star. If you're looking for an anti-LeBron,
that's the guy that you want to have on your football team.
That's who you want on. Yep. I would like to have him on.
LeBron got no post game. He got no mid-range game. He got no 3-point shot. He can't shoot free throws. He got all these guys that go into the rim. That's it.
Man, I tell you, man.
I tell you about it. I want Carmelo Anthony's career over his career. I put Carmelo Anthony in his shoes. Shit, we're not even having this conversation. Who knows? We'll never know, though.
Yeah, you might have a point there, Donald, on that, man. If Carmelo would have took it serious the last several seasons, man. I mean, he looks fantastic now, man. He lost all that weight.
He went to New York.
Yeah.
He went to New York, and that's what happened.
Yeah. They couldn't get it together, man. They couldn't put it together. He got there. They just couldn't put a team around him, man. It's the same thing. But yeah, it was. But Donald, man, these are great questions, man. I appreciate these comparisons, man, because they force you to think about it.
Let me ask you this though. What you think about Rod Woodson's career? I think he's forgotten though.
Rod Woodson from the Steelers.
He plays cornerback, but he was a better at safety though.
Yeah, but he was still really good at cornerback before they only slid him to safety because he started to get old and he became a Pro Bowler at safety, despite the fact. But he was but Rod Woodson, when Deion played Rod Woodson for all those years, he was the second best cornerback in the league behind Deion Sanders. Yeah. Of course, you could throw in people like Aeneas Williams and and guys like that were playing well, you know. But Rod Woodson, man, you got to put, when Deion was playing, number 2 under him was Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was shutting people down. Then he turned into a star-ass safety. So no doubt about it, man.
He went to Baltimore. To Ray and all them.
Yep. Yeah,
he with Chris McCaskill and all them. The dudes are shit.
Yep.
We talk about that was a defense.
Yeah.
That's another greatest defense. Another greatest defense about them. That's the 85 best.
Yeah.
Nobody would do what they'd ever do. I don't think that sack will ever be broken.
Yeah, that's Rod Woodson, man. Nobody don't talk too much about Rod, man, because he wasn't. That's the thing. That's the thing, though. I'm saying about guys. Remember the flashy guys. They remember the flashy guys. And Deion Sanders, you won't have most people even talk about Rod Woodson or Aeneas. If you're not talking about Rod Woodson and mentioning him, you can forget about Aeneas Williams. If you ain't talking about Rod Woodson, ain't no talk about nobody else. But that was the gap in some people's mind between the talent of a Deion versus a Rod Woodson. Even though these were stellar Hall of Famers playing, they just didn't play with that same pizzazz and that flash as Deion did.
Like, bro, it's the same thing with Sam Mills. Like, when is he going to get put in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
That's crazy in my opinion. Like, as a smaller guy playing linebacker, just killing people.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've never seen it like that. This is a small guy, 5'10", killing people.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like you look at a guy like that, man. He was phenomenal, man. The field mouse. They got a statue of him in Carolina. The Saints, I don't know. I think the Saints retired his number.
We need to give him a statue too.
Yeah, we need to do that, man. I don't know if we got any statues of the Dome Patrol down here, do we?
That's what I'm saying. When are we gonna do that? They should have been to that. Man.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying. There's pictures of them. They're
they're in the Saints Hall of Fame though.
They're in the hall and they're busting them in the Hall of Fame, but that's not connected to the team. You know, the team has to do something, and we know we got the statue of the block kick that started and all that kind of stuff.
That was a great moment.
But we still need to have that Dome Patrol.
I'm telling you, man.
They need to be on. They need to have a statue of them somewhere around there. No doubt about it.
And would you say they're the greatest linebacker call of all time?
Yes, sir. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs. And then the crazy part, they had a special on NFL. Well, Mike Singletary said it himself because they named that was a great Singletary.
He said, "Man,
yeah,
they should. I mean, who said that? Roger Craig, he said it best. If they had an offense, they would have won 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the late 80s and early 90s.
That's what he said too. Absolutely. Mike Singletary was one of the meanest champion. He chaired one of the meanest defenses in the league. But the Dome Patrol, man, best linebacker corps in the history of the business. No doubt about it.
I can tell you about it. Put Dan Marino with that football team.
Yeah.
There's the answer. There's the answer.
You give it down in the run, give him a running game in that defense. That's 2 or 3 Super Bowls right there. Then we just blew that opportunity, just blew it all to hell. Put that team together and just blew it all to hell. Just couldn't operate.
What was the problem?
Yeah, but you know that was leadership. They didn't want to spend, and then they didn't want to.
Who's that? Who's that?
Then on top,
look at the general manager they had back then. They had Jim Finks. He was cheap back then.
Oh, Finks,
great general manager, but he was cheap though.
He didn't want to spend Benson's money. You know, you got to remember.
Tom went with that analogy all those years.
Well,
until he got Sean Payton in the building.
But it took them years because people was fussing that time. Man, it was a struggle because people were so upset with Tom Benson not spending the money to either keep the players or bring the right players in. The Saints was known as a team that will bring in has-been as players and try to get the most out of them.
Yes.
Eric Allen was a has-been when he came here. Champ Baylor, Dale Carter, all these dudes were has-beens, and you're trying to turn them into something. Michael Haynes came here, or Jim Everett. This was terrible, man. Terrible. All that's terrible. But it ultimately changed after Katrina happened because they needed a better product. Because thank the hurricane for the change.
That's facts. Because I remember when we had Al Glover. I can't get that dude's name. Al Glover?
Leroy Glover?
Leroy Glover. There you go. Leroy Glover. That's one of the guys. She had 18 sacks one year for the Saints in 2000? That defensive line?
Something like that.
I think 2 years later, he went to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I would have never let him out of my building.
Right. Let me tell you something,
Made
bro.
that dude.
If you get a defensive tackle that get that amount of sacks from
I'm
the
talking
interior,
about
you don't let that go.
tackle.
I know, at D tackle. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. And they let him go. Dallas signed him. I remember that.
I'm like, what the fuck? What? How is that? Then we had what? Then we had Sammy Knight. Sammy Knight started his career. He ended up leaving.
He went to Jacksonville, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Jacksonville. Then he went to Miami.
Yeah, it was, and that was the thing. They could find some of these players cheap and then develop them, and then 2 or 3 years later they didn't want to keep them. They'll let them walk, and that was it was the same
Leroy
way.
was unbelievable.
Yeah, Leroy was awesome, man.
That was awesome, man. Awesome, man. Like, man, then we brought in Charles Grant, but Charles was good, but he wasn't better than Will Smith, though.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Oh,
And,
no,
he,
Will
he,
Smith.
and
Then
he
we
had
had-
Junior
then we had
Galette-itis.
Mike McKenzie and all them.
When they paid Charles Grant, he fell apart, gained weight, and he kind of lost it. He had the Junior
That's what
Galette
happened.
thing going on. He got paid because he was phenomenal. When he got paid, it all fell apart. He had no self-control.
That's
It
what
all
happened.
fell apart. But you're right. What
And
was
then
that
we had
last
Darren
name you
Howard.
asked?
Then we had Darren Howard in the rotation.
From K-State. I remember Kansas State. Darren Howard. Yep.
Darren was good. Darren was a part of that 2000 defensive line that had 66 sacks.
Ended up going to Philly.
Second most in NFL history.
Yep. Ended up going to Philly.
Oh, so he killed it in Philadelphia.
Yep. That was the history.
Philadelphia.
But that was the history of the Saints prior to Katrina. When it changed, because everything changed, it was an onus on them for the win. Because if you look back into the history of the Saints, it was a shift in it when Mora left, you had Dicker came in for the two or 3 years. I know that was absolutely terrible.
That was terrible.
Terrible. And he was so horrible as a coach that he impacted
you know what
coming
it
in
was?
the next years.
You know what it was? They thought that he could do the same thing he did in Chicago. At the end of the day, this wasn't Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our philosophy. And this is the reason why Chicago is still struggling after all those years. After they won a Super Bowl, they still believe in that way. Can't believe it. You got to change it. So long as changing it, and they cheat too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something like, hey, when y'all gonna fix our quarterback situation? That's what I'm trying to figure out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man, I gotta change our ways, man.
Yeah, it worked though, because ultimately what ended up happening was the Saints ended up changing it and getting it done. The money came in, because a lot of people didn't realize it. What you talking about, the team or the people?
No, we changed our way. We changed our philosophy. This is the problem.
Yeah.
We had the formula.
Yeah.
We just got away from. Sean Payton got away from it a couple of years ago. He had the formula in 2017. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
They came back the next year and they did that. We just got robbed.
Right.
We got robbed.
Well,
the next year, last year we were doing it. Just that when Brees came back, he got away from like, you don't do that.
They wasn't ready, bro. I mean, they wasn't ready in the playoffs. They wasn't ready, bro. I mean, that's all I can really say to it, because I don't care what you got to do. If you really serious about winning, you wouldn't have folded like a lawn chair in that Minnesota game. That's pretty much what happened.
I was shocked by that game, man. That game was just weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right. That's the word, weird. I was like, man, what's going on here? How do you have a 13-3 regular season team?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
you know. Better than us.
I'm like, you have every incentive.
And I'm not talking about paper neither. I'm talking about football team wise. Their plan was a race on defensive plan. When Taysom Hill got in the game, they weren't even prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Mike Zimmer's supposed to get that cover. He didn't even cover that up.
No.
He known for his defense.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to figure. Mike Zimmer, he should have been a head coach a long time ago.
The thing is, that's the thing we notice when Peyton gets out of himself, when he matches up with Zimmer, he matches up with Shanahan, he gets out of himself. And
which Shanahan we talking about? Talking about the dad or the son?
We talking about Kyle Shanahan, the last one that he played.
Oh no, see, that's his. He the same way too, though. Because look what he did the last couple of Super Bowls.
You do have a point with that. You do have a point.
He blew it.
Yeah.
Like your daddy don't do that. Your daddy running that football.
Your daddy telling them, look, man, what you need to do is do this, that, and the third. But see, they figured out a Saints' weaknesses, insofar as what we can do to beat them. And Atlanta did it to the Saints and had great success.
Yeah,
Minnesota did it to Saints as well. They was emulating a lot of the same things.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. Andy Reid took that tape of what the Saints were doing with Jared Cook. He did the same thing with Travis Kelce, and his running backs, and they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he was also running the ball too, Donald. He was doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's my point. He was doing that, but at the same time, you look at Travis Kelce. I'm like, Jared Cook was doing this to them. I know he could do this, and that's exactly what they did. Linebackers were terrible in coverage. Terrible in coverage.
But we got that's the thing. We knew AJ Klein wasn't good in coverage, bro. They got rid of him. They got better. And I mean, every year, truth be told, they've been getting better.
Right, they're better than linebacker I've seen in years.
I still say, athletically speaking, we still better. Bratham.
Well, we have depth. We have depth. That's what we have.
You got, but would you agree with me to say that you athletically more gifted at the linebacker position than you've been in years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would say that. Okay. I would say that.
Okay. Because that was the issue.
Vilma wasn't that. I don't know who's better, Vilma or Davis. I don't know.
Vilma?
I don't know who's better, Vilma or Davis. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Well, Vilma was good, man. But Davis, this dude could cover. He could do it all.
Yeah, but Vilma he wasn't a big guy, but what Vilma's gift was he was real intelligent. He knew what everybody was supposed to be.
Exactly.
He knew he was really intelligent. I think that's the thing that made him stand out versus other people. Is he super intelligent, bro? Super intelligent. All right, hold on for a second, Donald. All right, we got another family member on the line. What's going on, fam? Thanks for calling the Great Saint Think Tank. Who on the line?
What's going on, Q and fam?
What up there, Brother Paul? How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. I'm loving this, man. This is great.
We talking some stuff. I know I got Uncle Paul that woke up talking Deacon Jones and so you can thank Donald for it because Donald bringing out all these questions. Donald asked asked another good one about who's better, Vilma or Demario Davis. That was I had to stop. I said, hold on here. Let me think about this in here. Because I'm looking, I was like, man, the thing that Vilma is that he was the natural born leader of that middle of that Saints defense. He knew what everybody belonged on that defense. Right, he called it all.
All the players. He knew it was an audible. He knew how to switch.
He knew about it all.
Get back, get over here, get back.
Right.
And he would be right on it.
Right, and I'm not saying Demario can't do that, but he should be. Demario is not the one that the Saints are looking to calling plays for the defense this season. They're looking at Anzalone to do it. And I'm saying to myself, why? That's curious because I like Alex Anzalone, but why? But you want your stable player, Demario Davis, should have that position because, in my opinion, number one, he's the best, most complete linebacker that you have. Number two, he doesn't miss any games, and number three, he's not only is he a respected leader in the Saints defense, but he's also a social leader as well, and he does it the right way. He's a community guy as well. So I was like, Demario should be the dude, but you're going to put Alex Anzalone, a guy, and I love Alex Anzalone, but to put him there and his body can't hold up to you asking for trouble. But hold on, Brother Paul. We got Donald still on the line. Just give me a second. We're going to let Donald finish his statement up, and then I'm going to bring you in there. Go ahead, Donald.
Oh, man, it's hot. I'm enjoying it.
If you want another question, who's better, Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed?
Troy Polamalu and who?
Ed Reed.
Oh, my goodness. This man just asked me who's better, Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed. Goodness gracious. I got to go with Ed Reed, bro. I got to go with Ed Reed. I got to go with Ed Reed. I love Polamalu, dude, but Ed Reed is the dude.
Polamalu was good. But you know what Polamalu didn't do? He didn't play special teams.
Oh, did it? Right. Okay.
Ed Reed, man. Ed Reed was, man, I'm
Ed
going against him.
Ed Reed, bro, he up there, bro. I mean, when you talking, I can't put, if the only other guy I would put above Ed Reed is Ronnie Lott. I mean, that's how high I got. That's how high I got in my head about how great Ed Reed was as a safety for all those years. is that he right up underneath Ronnie Lott. And when you talk about safeties, Ronnie Lott is up there, entrenched up there, and there are other guys, but man, that's rarefied air. That's why I put Ed Reed up there with Ronnie Lott. That's just my call. But Donald, thank you, man. Go ahead, Donald.
Well, look, I just got one thing. Well, we probably can't even say this guy's name anymore. Why would you put Darren Sharp as one of the greatest safeties of all time?
The greatest safeties all time?
Yeah.
Period. Not just on any team, just period throughout, right?
It doesn't, because people don't realize he played strong safety at one point, but that didn't work. It's a free safety, damn it.
Man, Darren Sharper.
The Darren was right there with Ed Reed. The interceptions, pass defense, interceptions, and even with touchdowns.
Oh man, what would I put? What would I place him at? Man,
Shaw was the same way.
I mean,
was a strong safety, but played better at. Well, first of all, I keep talking about Troy. First of all, Troy was good, but I'm not gonna put him over Sean Taylor.
Oh man,
Sean was a killer. Sean was coached by Greg Williams.
That's a hard one, bro. For me to throw up, that's a hard one now. Where would I rank Sharper among all of the safeties? Man. Oh, man. I don't know, bro. I have to think on that one. But I would say he would be between the top 10 and the top 15. He'd be anywhere between 10 and 15, in my opinion.
That's exactly where I would put him at.
That's why I put him at 10, between 10 and 15. Because he was great at what he did. But it's just I that's why I would place him at, because there was so many other players I would put above him, including a guy like I would put man,
Sean Taylor.
I would put Sean Taylor up there. I'll put Sean Taylor definitely in my top 10. He'd be in my top 10.
Would you say Sean Taylor was better than Troy Polamalu, or is that
No,
too much?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think Troy Polamalu was better than him. And the cold part about it is it's so unfair because he was taken from us so early.
Yeah, he got killed, man.
So
he got killed, man.
But so that's the thing that really kind of messes with me, because I would then say, it's hard. He would have probably ended up there with Ed Reed, and the rest of them had said and done. He was already on his way.
Well, they all played together. They all played together at Miami.
Right. So I was saying
he played with Clayton Portis and all in Miami.
So that's what I was saying. I would have to probably more than likely just say that for the most part, bro. That's what I would probably say. But thank you, Donald. Those are really great questions, man. I appreciate the hell out of that, man. Appreciate you, and who that to you, bro. You be safe out there, bro.
Well.
Peace.
Well, I'm inside, so I'm good.
All right, that's right. Peace. Who that? All right, Brother Paul, you on the line now?
What's going on, Q? Man, I'm just sitting here, man. Y'all shouldn't have started this today, man. I'm sitting here talking about the greatest players, but when I was trying to kick up in the chat, Q, I was trying to find out, I'm quite sure you've been watching football a long time, some of the most memorable defensive names. The Purple People Eaters. And when you call all the players, you really doing good.
Man.
Pearson, Orson, Olsen, London, and Deacon Jones, and old Rosie Greer. Man, I used to love to watch them guys. Ooh.
Yeah. Them some mean suckers there, man. And they was dominant.
Yeah, boy.
You talking about domination.
That's right. They dominated game in and game out. No quarterback wore the face. I didn't care who it was.
You ain't lying,
and
bro.
if you had a pocket passer quarterback, he was in trouble. He was going to learn to scramble that day, so they were going to get after him.
You ain't lying. I mean, the Purple People Eaters, you talking about guys like Deacon Jones. Man. Then you go over there with Deacon Jones and the rest of them dudes with the Rams. And, man, come on, man. We talking about some terrible people, bro. We talking about some terrible people.
If your offensive lines had any deficiencies, they were going to be showed up that day. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. We like I said, man, I appreciate Donald, man, chiming in, dropping them on him, man, because a lot that was well said, man. I got to give it to him because those great questions. Sean Taylor was a guy who was taken to us much too soon. He probably would have been up there, in my opinion, up there where Ronnie Lott and a guy like Ed Reed ultimately, them suckers broke up in his house and killed him. And that was a shame, man. But Brother Paul, what's on your mind, man, about the black and gold, brother? How you feel about us coming into this season, bro, with the addition of Nigel, Bratham, and the rest of them. How you feel about those guys? We talk about Fowler and Ingram. We think about the Saints linebacker core this year as opposed to years past. You think we're a lot more athletic and better off than we were?
It had to be cute. Had to be. And you know what? I know we don't like to talk about it, and I could still see your face now last year, that Minnesota game. And that was one of the things that got us beat. Not so much that the defensive line played bad and the offensive line, but our linebackers were terrible too, Q.
Yeah.
They really were. They would get caught up in the run blocking, and, Minnesota kept throwing 2 to 3 different backs, not just so much running, but just moving them around. And it was taking people, out of position. And then, like you said, you didn't have Sheldon Rankins, you didn't have Azzalone, you didn't have Henderson, and, Cam Jordan wasn't 100%. So they really caught us at a bad time, and we just got exploited. And Sean Payton and Dennis Allen didn't know what to do. Minnesota was beating us every which way we could look around, Q.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah, you're right, Brother Paul. I mean, man, all I could tell you, bro, is that a lot of the stuff that we see last year, to get into it with that Saints defensive line was they were horrible. But it was the injuries, and they could not come back. The injuries finally got the best of us. And it was curious.
Real lady was gonna catch up. Just too many people kept getting hurt. Keep it the wrong time.
Right, and the Saints was deep enough there, but if you see that happening last year, the Saints could have addressed it some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew Davenport, like coming into this season, see, it's another mistake. Coming into this season, it's no way we should be just saying, okay, we're gonna rock with Davenport. It's no reason in the world we should be rocking with Davenport without an insurance policy. We done been through that twice before, I don't get it.
He's gonna stay healthy, Q, I'm telling you.
Right. Hold on for a second there, Brother Paul. We got another call on the line. What's going on, family? Thank you for calling Sports Coma. Who's on the line?
Randy.
I can't make you out, bro. You got an echo in the background there.
Randy.
All right, you said
Randy from San Antonio.
Randy
from New Orleans.
Okay, you said Randy.
Yeah.
Okay, Randy, appreciate you, bro. You got a speaker going on back there, bro, or something? Can you turn that down a little bit, because I can barely hear you.
All right, I turned it down.
Okay, good. All right, bro. I got Brother Paul ahead of you. As soon as Brother Paul get done, I'll bring you on in, bro. So just give me a few minutes. Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you. All right, we got Brother Randy on the line. Okay, go ahead there, Brother Paul. Go ahead and make your point, my friend.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I'm glad it's hot. I'm glad. I just wanted to just keep it scorching, Q. But yeah, but like I said, with Zach, but Bond back there and having Bratham and all that, now to me, Sean Payton and Dennis Allen, they put their heads together and they're trying to fulfill and shore up some deficiency, Q. Mm-hmm. That's all that is. And if they can see it, all these other teams are going to be facing this season going to see it. And the Saints are really, I got to commend them. They're really trying not to get exploited that way. It's like, you're going to beat us, but it's not going to be because of that, And I respect them for that, because in time past, the Saints had that attitude, just keep getting by, what you think?
Right. Well, I mean, you make a point there. We gotta solve that, Brother Paul, because I think that's a major obstacle that's in the way, And like I've said, it's not too many teams that I see that's problematic for the Saints. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to anybody's team, the 49ers or the Minnesota Vikings, and that kind of stuff. Listen, the only thing I'm just saying is that at the end of the day, if the Saints don't win a Super Bowl, and I'm telling you they should win the Super Bowl, they're going to win a Super Bowl. If they don't win it, it's because of their own failures. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. The Minnesota Viking game, the Saints didn't run the right game plan in that game to win that game. They played toward the strengths of their opponents as opposed to their weaknesses. And that's because and if you go and watch the next game, the next week when the Vikings played the 49ers, they ran the Saints scouting report and wiped the Vikings off the field. So I mean,
that was horrible. Minnesota terrible, man.
The Saints had all of the tools needed to beat the Vikings. They had every reason to beat this team. So coming into next year, the focus should have been it was Super Bowl or bust last year, The only difference this year is that Drew Brees is telling you, listen, I'm done. I'm going to talk about football next year. Y'all do whatever y'all got to do. And that's what it's coming down to. So it's like, oh, well, we got to finally get it right. So is that finality enough to force Sean Payton to be balanced? I think it is. He has to be balanced. And this is his last hurrah with Drew Brees leaving. Then you can have to look and say, well, listen, after Drew goes, we're going to have to rethink this thing. You have to reformat some stuff, move some stuff around offensively speaking, because the key piece that sat on top of it for so long is retiring. So I'm saying that's enough to force Peyton to do what he'd been supposed to do, which was last year and the year before, is run the ball. In the Rams matchup, and I go back and I have to remind people, because I'm not so much the same thinker as most people are about Saints matters. Like when they talk about the Saints getting robbed, remember we the dude came out with the shirt that we didn't get robbed. And I put that up there, and I said, because I don't think we got robbed. How are we gonna get robbed?
We played the whole game,
right?
You know?
Right. When we the ones that was making all of the mistakes. I mean, the guy did miss the call, that egregious call at the end, but had Dan Arnold caught the touchdown pass, we wouldn't have been talking about that. Whose fault is it that the guy dropped the touchdown pass? Whose fault is it that Sean Payton was really conservative in that game when that other guy was going for it on fourth down and anything? You ain't gonna beat a desperate man unless you're willing to be desperate yourself.
Reverses and stuff, yeah.
So I mean, what I'm saying,
you gotta let your head down, man.
Right. So I'm saying,
Can't be holding them back, you know.
So as far as what I'm saying is, every one of these situations, even the Minnesota Miracle, the Saints were at fault because the last call was a bad call. The Saints had to come from behind in that game to take the lead in the end. Now, had they have worked the clock better, let the air out of the ball, you wouldn't have to worry about that. That's what I was saying in the game. So when we come back to it,
snapping the ball, wouldn't nobody even line up. Now, who does a bonehead play like that at a critical time? That's the veteran kid.
I'm saying, bro, people when I talk commonsensical, people got to get out their emotional mind. You know, that's the type of stuff. That's why everybody's so uproar right now. Let's get out the emotional mind and use the logic mind, because all this stuff done to screw you up so you don't use your logical mind to understand what's going on. So I'll be like, if you look at it from a football perspective, all I'm saying is that the Saints had control over the last 3 years to get to the Super Bowl. Had they operated the correct way, cut out the mistakes, because when they get into the playoffs, go look up the statistics if you don't believe me. Go look at all the turnovers the Saints make in these playoff games and the losses which contribute to them losing the game. Dropping touchdown passes, false starts in your own damn building. You know, penalties in your own building, not knowing what you do, miscommunications.
Pass interference. You're right.
Right. You can't fault the gutless, spineless, corrupt, underhanded, dirty, stinking ass referees. You can't fault them if you're the one making the mistakes. If you're playing correctly and you controlling that clock like you're supposed to, and you ain't just scoring and then get out there and let them have it, then you go score like he did in the 49ers game when you was trying to be big chested against Shanahan, then you would have won that game and was sitting up there with that first seed. So I kept saying this is documented. Y'all go back and listen to the show. You can hear me riding on them then. But that's the thing when I tell people to say, listen, we're not going to approach this thing the way the media is, because the media ain't going to go after Sean Payton. They're not going to go after Sean Payton and say, Payton, you the reason why we lost this game, because you didn't run the ball. They don't go after him like that. They sit up there with their hands in their hands, and they sit up there and they be real milquetoast with Coach Payton, such. Nah, ain't enough of that. No, it's enough. Ain't enough of all that milquetoast stuff. It's time for people to get upset about it, because when you get upset, baby, then change happens. Change don't happen when you sitting on your ass happy. You got to be upset to make real serious change, because that's enough energy and intensity to push you into what you need to do. You might be sitting idle, but something happened that piss you off. It'll force you into action. And then you'll start seeing stuff turning and twisting and moving. And that's what we got. We got upset and started challenging the narrative. And when we started challenging the narrative, then the questions was coming not just from us, because we was forcing the reporters to ask the same damn questions. We was forcing the narrative and changing the narrative. And that's what has to happen for stuff to happen in the Black and Gold building. We've been watching them get at the cusp for the last 3 years, Brother Paul. This time, you got to get your ass over the hump, and you got to make stuff happen for real, and we need to make it happen. That's the bottom line. That's all I'm saying. Sean Payton is in control of it. He got everything he wants. But I'm saying at the same time, you can run the ball effectively, and you need to relegate or delegate minutes for Davenport and work him in there slowly. You can't just throw him in there because the guy is not built for that right now. You need to build up to it. That's why I said get another guy in here who he can share minutes with, and it might be Marcus Hunt. Who knows? You're saying, well, Q, we need another defensive end. We got our minds stuck on Everson Griffin for obvious reasons. But what if Marcus Hunt can be what Trey Hendrickson could not be? Would that be enough to quench your thirst?
That's true. You know, I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, Sean Payton with Drew Brees is like a girlfriend or a wife. She keep telling you ain't treating her right, you ain't showing no attention. You just keep on playing or whatever. Then when they started him, even in divorce papers, in reality hit. See, that's what's happening to Sean Payton. He been hanging on with Drew Brees. Drew Brees said, all right, this is my last year, coach, I'm gone. Now he's got to change when he should have been trying to do that all along, Q. It's almost too little too late. What you think?
I mean, you're right. It's almost. He begged him to come back. He sung to him on the phone and he forced him to come back. And he came back. So now the time is we got to see what he's going to do here. Bottom line. We got to see if the coach going to handle business and keep a balanced system. And listen, bro, and to be honest with you, Brother Paul, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to turn it over to your final statement because we got Randy behind you. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. Sean Payton should have won at least 2 Super Bowls over the last 3 years. It's been in his hand the whole time. The reason why we have not won is not exclusively because of injuries, it's because of schematics. We had a coach that refused to run the ball and be balanced in the playoffs and create a situation where we create the defense, the opposing defense, to create question marks in the head to know what we're doing. You can't. You go in these games predictable. Your personnel is not. They're not ready. They're dropping touchdown passes. They're blowing blocks. They're having holding, false start penalties in their own buildings. They're fussing at each other on the sideline. That's stuff that the coach controls. That's preparatory stuff. Teams that know what they're doing don't fuss at each other on the sidelines like they don't. That just doesn't happen. So I'm like, there is no more excuses. The team needs to perform, and a part of the reason why the team is falling short is because of the man at the top. The same man we give credit to is the same guy we got to give blame to. He has to run the goddamn ball. Bottom line. And if he does that, he will help not only his offense, his passing offense, which he loves to wing it around, but running the ball makes it even easier for him to pass the ball because the defense it creates that question mark in their head of what are the Saints going to do. It kickstarts. So you have a guy like Latavius Murray who averages 4 to 5 yards a carry. Hell, you got a guy named Dwayne Washington who's his backup that averages over 6 yards a carry. How do you have backs that averages 5 and 6 yards a carry on your team and you're not giving them the ball? That means you give that man the ball twice, he got a first down. It's just that simple. So give him the ball, run the ball, stop all the cutesy stuff and all over the field crap. Go ahead, Brother Paul, for your last statement. Then I'm going to bring in Brother Ray.
Oh, yeah. And while you were saying that, I was just thinking, you know what, that don't register with Sean Payton, Q. He wants to put Taysom in there and do all this razzle-dazzle and all that. But like you say, especially in the playoffs, you got to run the ball. I know it's vanilla. I know it may be old-fashioned, but if you want to win, you run the ball, the running back, fullback, and you control the clock and ball control sometimes. You know you're going against a quick spread offense. You know the old saying, Q. The other offense can't score if they ain't on the field and don't have the ball.
That's true.
And Sean Payton got to get out his own way, Q. You know?
You got to do it. He got to do it. And I told people, I said, this year he gets out of his own way. Say, well, how you know about it? I said, because this is the year where Drew said he's gone. If he doesn't balance the offense now, then he blows the opportunity that he has with his best chance to win a Super Bowl, because this is the deepest team Drew Brees has had. It will be a shame if Sean Payton did not run the football to help out his 41-year-old quarterback.
Family better hear that, Q. Okay, go out there and throw 30, 40 times in a game, expect to win. It's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Because he's going to get hit, and he may not be able to hold up. Because like I say, he's a year older now. He got hurt last year, but now he's even a year older now. And he can't be getting hit like that, Q, because they're not going to take it easy on him, you know.
Right.
But thank you, Q. I appreciate you, man. Who that now?
Appreciate you, Brother Paul. Who that to you, my man. Be safe out there.
All right, you too. Thank you now.
All right, same to you, bro. All right, Brother Randy, how you doing, my brother? Sorry about the wait. Got you on in there, my friend. How you doing?
I think them Saints going to do this year, brother.
I think they're going to be Super Bowl champions, my brother. I'm thinking we got a lot of stuff going on with Peyton. But like I said,
run that, get that ball to them running backs and let them run that ball, man.
There you go. That's my point. Get a ball to that ball. Let Latavius run that ball. And of course, we know Sean gonna throw it, but I ain't got no problem with you throwing the ball if you running the ball.
Oh yeah, Murray's a good running back, man. Then we got the other boy, back there. Camaro. Get Camaro that ball, man. Let him run that ball up the hole.
Right.
When it get down to I'm talking about when it get down to the red zone. Let him run the ball.
Right. I mean, but let me ask you this, Randy. My thought process is a lot of the Who Dat Nation think the same way. Let me ask you what you think. Because it seems like to me Sean Payton gets confused on certain situations where who should get the ball. You got Latavius Murray, who's known as the short yardage back. Sean Payton said that when they signed him, that he's a guy they look at as a short yardage back. So anything short, Latavius Murray should be coming in the game.
Oh yeah, Murray and your boy, man, let him run the ball. That's all they got to do, man. Let Kamara run that ball, man. We're gonna score all the time.
Yeah, we gotta.
As long as they let Kamara run the ball, we're gonna score. And make sure. I hope they get that ball to Emmanuel Sanders too. We picked up from the 49ers.
Yeah.
A good pickup from the 49ers.
Right. Yeah, I like that pickup, bro. That was a pretty solid move. What you think about the last two guys, the linebacker from the Eagles and Emmanuel Sanders' partner Benny Fowler, who just signed?
He good too. I like Benny. I like Benny Fowler. He good. Came from Denver. Where he came from? Denver, huh?
Yeah, he was with several teams. With Denver, he was with some other teams. I forget what other teams he with, but he was with about several other teams. He kind of bounced around a little bit. But I watched some footage on it. I like what he can do. He gives the Saints an experienced weapon besides Sanders. What you think about linebacker Nigel Bratham?
Oh man, he gonna be a killer. He gonna be a killer. That boy came from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He picked up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that boy they're gonna be devastated on that defense, bro. If they put him in the end, he could do it all type of way. He could play in the end, and he could play outside. Mm-hmm. Outside linebacker. Now he a good pickup from Philly. Oh yeah, we got us a sneak. We got us a good pickup.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what do you think about the athleticism of the linebacker position for the Saints this year? Because so many times before in previous seasons, we had issues with linebackers able to cover the tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. What do you think about the athleticism of the Saints linebacker room this year?
I think that boy that picked up from Philly, he probably good at that. Mm-hmm. Picking up the wide receivers and picking up the tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like, man, we a loaded team. Which let me ask you this, Donald. Secondary wise, what you think about the secondary? They released Dietrich Nichols, the XFL guy. He led the XFL 3 interceptions this year. He was undersized, but he was a ball hawk. Getting to the ball, they released him. How confident you are about the Saints secondary behind Jack Rabbit, Lattimore, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? How you feel about them guys?
Well, all them guys is ball hunt. They hunt that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna be some good players if they can stay healthy.
What you think about their backups? What you think about P.J. Williams, Patrick Robinson, Justin Hardy, and those guys? What's your confidence about those guys?
They're going to be all right this year, too.
Okay.
Saints got a good defense. They always did have a good defense, Just like when they played Minnesota. We supposed to go to the Super Bowl. It's just like when we played the Rams. They cheated us out that game. and stuff. You know, they took that game away from us. All right.
You said the Miracle?
Yeah, the Minnesota game, the Saints played, and your boy ducked down, and he scored a touchdown. If he would have never ducked and you would have hit him, the game would have been over with. It would have been all the way to the Super Bowl then.
Yeah, we would have been
on our way.
We would have been on our way. We would have had to take on Philadelphia, which we'd ultimately end up going against the Patriots. Said, yeah, Marcus Williams was the rookie that time. He broke down, didn't make the tackle, but it was a bad call by the defensive coordinator to even call that stupid play. But in the end, it cost us. And we still sitting here looking the same way we did 3 years ago when that happened to us. Then you go against the Rams, and you got the Vikings again, and then you do not show up against the Vikings. In your opinion, what the season look like heading forward, Randy? What you look like at the end of the season?
I think we're gonna go 12-4.
Okay. You get any one of those losses against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Oh, we should be opening the season against Tampa Bay in the Dome.
Mm-hmm.
We should beat Tampa Bay in the Dome.
You think
we should beat Tampa Bay?
Oh, you think we're gonna sweep them? In your opinion?
We're gonna sweep them out. We're gonna sweep them out.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna sweep them out. Oh yeah, we got to win. We got to win that game.
Yeah, that's a tone setter.
Oh yeah, in the Dome too. Even though we're not gonna have the fans there, I don't think we need the fans there to win this game.
No, the Saints professional enough to get it done, bro. And I think they said they're gonna have a limited amount of people, that maybe 15 to 20 something thousand people. It might change between now and then. We'll see. But Cam Jordan already said it first and foremost that he wasn't going to. They're gonna play every game like it's an away game. So that's the mentality that the defense is taking. So if they're taking that mentality, bro, then hey, man, that's the right way to do it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think we're gonna be looking good this year. I think this is gonna be our season to go to the Super Bowl. Cause even Emmanuel Sanders, he's saying that we're gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. That's why he wanted to go to New Orleans, because he wanted to be with a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
All right. He with the Saints. They going this year. Why I tell you, they going this year. They got to go.
Right.
Don't get beat out, you know.
No, you
we
right.
going.
You right.
Yeah.
You on
going.
point. You got it.
Oh yeah.
We got no choice, bro. We got to do it, bro. About time, man. I'm sick of riding off this 2009 ass Super Bowl. We need more than this, bro. We've been tearing up the league offensively speaking over the last 10 plus years, man. You got to have more than one Super Bowl to show for it. At least two to show them we ain't playing.
Oh yeah. I think this gonna be our year, though. I'm looking forward to this gonna be our year here.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Rand. I'm gonna give me a parting thought, my brother, on. Let me ask you this about the Saints' defensive end position, because that seems to be the talk of the town. How you feel about it? Do you think the Saints going to sign Clowney or Griffin, or are you comfortable going in with Davenport and what we have?
Like I said, I don't know about them having your boy on the defensive end. They really don't need no Clowney. They could do without Clowney, I think. Because Clowney asking for too much of money. Clowney asking for what, $13 million?
15
a year? Huh? 17 million, something like that?
15, at least 15 million.
Oh. I don't think the Saints got that up on the cap. 15 million. They got what? On the cap, they got what? 2 million?
Maybe I've heard anywhere between 6 to 8 million under the cap, depending on the contracts, because we don't know how much Bratham's contract is or what Fowler signed to. So there's still some finagling to be done. But if they had the cap money, do you think they still make the move?
Try to grab Griffin. He don't sign Minnesota. I heard he's supposed to sign back with Minnesota.
Well, that's chatter of that, and there's also chatter about him in Green Bay. We hearing that as well. So I mean, that's the case. But Randy, I mean, I appreciate you for calling, bro, and sharing your great information on the Saints, my brother. I appreciate the hell out of you for calling, man. Where you calling from again, Randy?
Huh?
You said you
calling from California, but I was born and raised down in New Orleans. Though.
Okay.
Born and raised Orleans.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You relocated after Katrina, bro?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been out here 16 years in San Antonio.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
Making that old black and silver town black and gold, huh, baby?
Oh, yeah, you know that, brother.
Appreciate you, Randy, man. I appreciate your support. Appreciate your call, my man. And
All right.
call in often, bro, and don't be a stranger.
All right.
Who that?
Who that?
That's Randy, man, calling from San Antonio, man. Appreciate the brother. Thank you, Donald, for calling, Brother Paul and Brother Randy out in San Antonio, baby. Good to see the great same thing. And the Who Dat Nation is in charge of it all, baby. We are the pinnacle of professional football. We are the New Orleans Saints. We are the Who Dat Nation. And all Super Bowl thoughts and actions go through us, baby. Even though they have it situated in Tampa Bay, don't get it twisted. It resides in the city of New Orleans, the New Orleans Saints, baby. We bringing it home. And I don't mind that they got a Super Bowl out there in Tampa Bay. Or in Florida, because the last time we won it in Florida. Why not win it in Tampa? It could be a whole Super Bowl winning affair. It'd be a Florida Super Bowl affair. We won our first in Miami, and we win the second one in Tampa. It could be, and then great weather when the time comes for the Super Bowl. I'm absolutely loving it. So I thank you. Thank the fellas, Donald, Paul, and Randy for chiming in. Who that to the Black and Gold family members. Much love to y'all guys chiming in as well. So, but let me go to the chat here. Appreciate the family members for chiming in. A few of the people I might have missed out on and seeing in the chat. Tragic 504, who that to your family. I see you in the building as well. Man, we had some really good dialogue, man, talking about the Saints, man. No doubt about it, family. A lot of great dialogue. Please hit the like button, family. Smash the hell out of that like button. Take a Hulk Hogan elbow to the like button. You know, take a rock punch or smack down to the like button, if you please. If you enjoyed the content, it helps out exponentially, man. We had some great dialogue today, man. A lot of great talk as usual at the Sports Coma, the great Saint Think Tank on Saturday. Saint Talk, man. It's just lovely. Talking Saints on a Saturday, it's just great, man. You get you a brewski, you sit down with family members, you got your feet kicked up, and you're talking about some great dialogue, talking about the Saints, man. That's heaven. Abraham, who that to you, Abraham? Good to see you in the chat. Who that to you, Brandon? Brandon Coma, yeah, I see your family. Thank you, Brandon. Who that to your family as well? JT says, Q, Sean Payton put all his cards in Davenport this year. He better work out. Well, bro, guess what? Remember, we did this before the last 2 years. And Sean Payton put two first-round cards in Davenport. The first year didn't work out. Last year, he came back, played. Listen, we know the kid might get hurt. Everybody get banged up. But this guy he gets banged up in a way which takes him off the field of play. And that's unfortunate because I don't know. Should we be putting this amount of pressure on Davenport to show up this year? That's what I'm saying. You know, the last 2 years is an indication of saying that perhaps the kid can't take it. You know, his body. He was hurt when we drafted him. He was hurt his rookie year. He was hurt last year. This year, I'm not saying that he can't break the trend and be healthy. You know, I've seen guys who were hurt before, then play a full season or two, then get back hurt again, stuff like that. It happens depending on who you are. But I'm saying that if you really care about his psyche and care about him as a player, you would want Davenport to be a guy that you incrementally move into the place. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to put all that on him. And perhaps that is like, okay, we're looking at Q, he likes Davenport, but perhaps there's something else on the team. The only other changes that I can document that the Saints did to the defensive line is Marcus Hunt. How much of a factor is Marcus Hunt? Because that's the question. The question is, and I'm going to ask the family members on that, because we looking for Griffin and Griffin's not coming. It's like looking for at this point, it's like looking for the Easter Bunny. It's like looking for the tooth fairy to come and bring you $100 for that rotten tooth under the pillow. It's like waiting for Santa Claus to jump down the chimney with a whole bag full of toys because you forgot to go do Christmas shopping this year. That's what kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's not going to happen. The issue is, where's Marcus Hunt in this discussion? The Saints signed Marcus Hunt big old guy, and he could be productive. He was a former second-round draft pick. He's still in the prime of his career. What is his role in this? What is his role? Because and then so-called situational pass rush role will be putting into, you look at Zach Bourne, the third-round draft pick, will be a situational pass rush role. But would he be looking at more so of that role than anything? Remember, Zach Bourne will operate in a situational pass rush role. That's true. But he's going to be a good pass rusher. He'll get swallowed up against the run. Them big-ass offensive linemen is not going to let him stop. You know what I'm saying? That's situational pass rush role. But if you're looking for a balanced player, Marcus Hunt appears to be the guy that the Saints are putting there. Hunt, where does he fit in this? It's something that, maybe we should be thinking about a little bit more. And we're not saying, because Griffin or Clowney, they're not coming. I'm thinking I'm going to start saying that because they're not showing me anything. The Saints ain't even looking in Griffin's direction. And that's a shame. They had a flirtation with Clowney, but everybody flirting with Clowney right now until he dropped his price or somebody get desperate and sign somebody because the injuries started flocking up. And I think that's what they're waiting on now is the injuries start occurring and you start seeing these guys getting signed like you've seen some of the C-19 listers and then you've seen some of the veterans off the free agency start getting signed to fill these roster spots. We'll expect that more when people start getting physical on the play and you start seeing injuries start mounting up. Then you can start saying to yourself, okay, maybe this is a position where we're going to see this type of stuff happening. So I've always felt that way, about Clowney. It's a flirtation with Clowney. Outside of that, I don't know. But Griffin is not even in the discussion. The question, since it's moving from Griffin and Clowney, now the discussion should be, what is Marcus Hunt's role? I mean, what is Marcus Hunt's role? Is he have a serious role in this thing? That's the question that I want the family member to start thinking on, because I'm going to start focusing on that more and start looking at Marcus Hunt to find out where Marcus Hunt is in this situation. That's all I can say about it, family. I'm just saying. Because we could say, well, Q, you're going to situational pass rush. That's only third down and whenever he chose to implement it. But Zach Bourne will get swallowed up if if it's anything else. So obviously not going to do that. So who could be the guy, who's the real defensive end to come in behind him? I'm telling the only difference there is Marcus Hunt. Now you got guys like Malcolm Roach and all those guys, yes indeed. But for guys you can rely on in the Saints' mind is a veteran, former second-round draft pick with NFL experience is Marcus Hunt. We all pointing at, I'm telling you, Marcus Hunt has a big role in the Saints' defensive line. I'm just going to keep it real with you. We could forget the Clowney and the Griffin talk. Griffin looks like he's about to get signed by Green Bay. They really like each other. Clowney's getting flirted with Tennessee, San Fran, Seattle still looking at him. Seattle might be off the table because they just one of the teams signed Deion Jordan, who was not a bad defensive end either, who was sitting out there, and they got him for peanuts. So we'll see. You never can say never though. All right. Mr. Boombastic, who that to your family? Paul says, I remember them old neck rolls like Dino Hackett back in the day. Mr. Boombastic, 16-seat box at the first Saints game is $29,000. Y'all won't split it? Bam, 29 G's, damn. You get all the attention too in the box suite, man, with the limited crowd. A 70,000 standing room only type of deal, a 70,000 seat venue. Man, that's some bread there, brother. Inevitable says, yes, we should put pressure on him because he's a first-round pick that we traded up for, also traded assets for him. Yeah, you can put pressure on him. I agree with you, bro. Because pressure could do one or two things. It can burst pipes or it can create a diamond. And everybody that's been through some pressure, we've been through some stress, we've been through some stuff, and it didn't kill us. We came out on the other side a lot stronger, a lot better, and in many times we were crystallized into a person that's unbreakable, that could not be broken from the pressures of the things that occur around you. And I think that's pressure is necessary. It is. Joe Gidry, who that to you, Joe? Thank you for joining us, fam. Inevitable says, Clowney not getting no $15 million. He better stop being greedy. Inevitable letting him have it. All right. Abraham said, we need a defensive end. So I guess Abraham ain't a fan of Marcus Hunt. I don't think right now they ain't looking at nobody, bro. They're not looking at Griffin. That's us pushing the narrative. They might have thought about it, but they damn sure ain't doing nothing about it to go and get him. Because he out there and he might get signed before long. I see him going before Clowney does. But the mere fact Sean Payton looked at Clowney lets him know that he listening. We know that you can't trust Davenport. Listen, Davenport is just a youngster. We won't put pressure on him, but listen, the pressure we put on him first 2 years resulted in him cracking. I mean, he having injuries. You need to work him in that slowly. And I think Marcus Hunt, and they're going to do it by committee. Zach Bond, Shaquille, all this kind of stuff. And we'll see how it circulate, bro. I just wouldn't want to go from that, man. Why do all that old fancy smancy stuff? Just keep it simple. Go out and get a defensive end that been in pressurous situations and make him the opposite for Cam just 1 year. Just spend the money for 1 year. I promise you to pay off. If I told you the only thing you need to do is spend $15 million extra or 12 or whatever it is, whether it's Griffin or Clowney, to get these men in here, to get a Super Bowl, that's a small price to pay. Very small price to pay for a Super Bowl. And you spend 12 for Everson, another 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, for Logan Ryan or another cornerback, because you don't have nothing if Chauncey Gardner-Johnson get hurt at the nickel position. So we'll see how it plays. Paul says, yeah, Shy Tuttle, I'm hoping we have a breakout season. GM Kev like Malcolm Roach. Derek says, okay, giving a shout out. Devin, what up, Devin? He says, hopefully we get an 8 out of Sheldon again. Yeah, well, yeah. We need Sheldon to be healthy. We need Davenport to stay healthy, and we need Alex Anzalone to stay healthy. And we need our 2 cornerbacks to stay, our 3 top corners to stay healthy the entire season. I know that's a lot to ask in so many games, but we need that because when those guys go, I'm talking about the cornerbacks, it gets really thin fast. If you lose any one of your starting cornerbacks for the Saints, it gets thin fast. Defensive end, you start relying on guys that's not really defensive ends. Problem with that is when you start putting guys like Zach Bowen at the defensive end position or Anthony Chiquillo, they might have a pass rush component, but they get 8 up on the run. They're not a balanced end, so we'll see how it work out and how Dennis Allen plays it, because he has to strategically place guys like Zach Bowen in there at the right time. Do you have confidence in Dennis Allen strategically placing Zach Bowen in at the right times to have the maximum impact? I don't have that much confidence. I like Dennis Allen. I just think his schemes is a little bit too conservative and too vanilla. He needs to add some diversity to the package. He needs to get more creative. He needs to get more intelligent with his blitzing. Don't be blitzing them guys and it's 3rd and 15. It's 3rd and 18. What you blitzing them for? Drop back in the coverage, send the 4, stuff like that. You got to count on him to make the call. He is the coordinator. Okay, let's see. John says, can this defense, as currently constructed, consistently hold opponents under 21 points or high-powered offenses under 21? Marcus Hunt, Davenport, 21 is the magic number. Thank you, John. Statistics, that's pretty good. Under 21 points. Marcus Hunt, man, he's a guy that can play inside and out, but he just don't have that pass rushing force that you would be scared of. And that's what I'm saying. You got Davenport. Who's the 3rd best pass rusher on the Saints team not named Davenport or Cam Jordan? Who's the 3rd best? People will be hard pressed to find that. They might have to go into the safeties or the linebackers, but who's your 3rd best defensive? Who's your 3rd best pass rusher? The truth is the Saints don't have one. They still trying to make Trey Hendrickson into it. Marcus Hunt is not a pass rusher. And who do you have? Carl Granderson? He's an unknown. He's an unknown. So who's your situational pass rusher? Zach Bowen. Really? You're going to use a rookie linebacker as a situational pass rusher? Or a special teams linebacker like Chiquillo who plays special teams wide? You're going to count on special teams people and rookies to fulfill a job that you're supposed to have paid a man to do? It's like, who's your situational pass rusher? I'm asking the question. That's a big question because John asking a good question. If we can keep him under 21, you got question marks behind Hunt and Davenport. Davenport because of his injuries, Hunt because he's an unknown. Granderson because he's an unknown. Hendrickson because he's an unknown. Who else do you have? Mario Edwards Jr., he's never effectively been, he's a mojo guy, don't get me wrong, but he's not a guy you want to rely on like that. What I'm saying is, don't play with the pass rush. You don't have a situational pass rusher. Scoop says it's Rankins. Rankins is the situational pass. Come on, we in trouble. You need another end who can fire off the line and cause problems, bro. Keeping it real. All right, let's keep it going. Scoop says, Demi, we got Marcus Hunt this offseason. Dada says, hit the like button. Thank you, family. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying the platform. Smack the hell out the like button. Who that to you, Jamie Doyle? Good to see you in the chat. He says, who that Big Q? What happened to Clay? Matthews want to ask. Well, somebody, I think GM Kev, I just seen it this morning, sent something. I think GM Kev in there. Answer on that, GM Kev. I know there was ramblings that Clay Matthews is talking to people. You know, I can look that up right quick. But I hear that he's looking at getting some, like, man, see, that don't make any sense to me. How do you have Clay Matthews out there and, you know, and people not looking at him? All right, family, thanks for calling Sports Coma. Who's on the line?
All right, it's JT. How you doing, Stu?
What's going on, JT? How you feeling, brother?
Oh, man, everybody's all right. Everybody in the family, everybody okay. You got beautiful granddaughter, man. Beautiful.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's on your mind tonight there, brother JT? How you feeling, bro, with the Saints and what we talking about?
Well, I'm going to say this. We were talking about defensive ends just now. And Q, you know, I always talk about the teachers. If you have a defensive coordinator, or you have you should have a defensive end coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well that defensive end coach should be not just a talent evaluator. He should be a person that can groom and grow a defensive end guy that has some talent. I mean, you just adding to what talent that he has. And that's what shakes me with defensive coordinator Allen. He just don't have. I think the defensive coordinators, you're only as good as those. Like I said the other day about the cornerbacks. I mean the cornerbacks we got. I mean, our third or fourth one to me. I think, you know, I don't know if it's good to say, but they better than the defense coordinator. You know. So, I mean, I'm just telling it what it is, calling a spade a spade. So, and see me, I'm a guy like, you can't coach nothing to me if you just play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might be good with what your scheme is because you write it up, you think it out, but you can't play it. I have to play what you write and what you say. You understand?
Right.
So personally, we need somebody, and the only thing we needed that I think was a defensive end that can pass rush, and that's the only missing piece. That out of everything, I think that's the only missing piece right now. A pass rush. We can't fool around with a 3-year starter, first round pick if he's been there 6 games a season. I mean, I can't put up with it. You understand? I mean, because then you start having other problems. You look at the other side of the ball. We have, you know, Armstead. I'm crazy about it, but his time is ticking. I mean, he's given us, you know, a couple of years ago he had I think it was 8 games, 9 games. Then he went down to 6 games. I mean, it's trickling down. And when we need him, I know he'll come out limping. He'll come out with 2 casts on, Q, and play on the line with 2 leg casts. But he playing from his heart. But we can't use that.
Right.
We need a player out there that left tackle. You know, I know we find guys, but we got to coach these guys that we find. And I think that's, to me, is starting to tell a little bit in certain areas where coaching is very vital, you know. That's how I look at it. I look at like Bill Parcells. I mean, Bill Parcells had guys, man, look like. I mean, he looked like he found these guys, and he had the defensive coordinators to go with him, and he created these guys. These guys already had the heart and the football mentality, but they needed somebody to bring it out of them, and that's the stuff I think that's what we need right there. And on certain positions, yeah, they got certain coaches that bring it out. Like you can see it. Look at our defensive line. I mean, Ominyata. I mean, raw, but he's to me, Ominyata is one of the top, I say top 5 in the league to me. And they don't have many. They don't have too many right now, you know. But Ominyata, he's young. I think he's one of the top to me. But we just need a pass rush. That's all. I think we'd be fine. Give us the pass rush. How are we going to get it? I don't know. I mean, I don't think we have. I mean, I've never seen a corner blitz or whatever. I never seen a safety. You know, I never seen these things from the defense coordinator. And if he did do it, he must have ran the cornerback into the tight end or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Q. But I'm gonna say this: pass rush is the main thing we need, and the biggest thing that's on our side is what's been happening with this COVID-19. At least we're going back to war with the same people, but with a little change. You know, we have a second wide receiver this year. We have a bona fide, hopefully, right guard. You know, where when we get in the playoffs, they don't manhandle us in there. I mean, that's what I've seen. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we got a couple of things switched up, and then we also have Lil Dante. He's a good player. He's ready to play. So I think we're gonna put up a fight this year against Minnesota and the 49ers. Because if when we make it that far, that's the two teams. That's the hurdles we got to cross right there. Mm-hmm. Right there.
You're absolutely right,
yeah.
JT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And we also we need to keep an eye on Minnesota and like I said, and the 49ers, because 49ers have lost, I think, 2 of their running backs this year. Breida went to where is that camp? No.
Dolphins.
Where did Falcons? Yeah, Breida went to he went to the Falcons, right?
No, they traded him to the Dolphins.
No. Right, to the Dolphins, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, you know, you got to look at these things too that once was, because they was deep at that position. Now they're not as deep. 49ers was deep at the wide receiver position, and they lost a couple in there. You know, so Minnesota lost a couple of receivers there too, and a couple of D linemen. So everybody's team is changing as it goes. But from what I see on the Saints, we stand intact with just about maybe 3 areas, maybe 2 areas. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, that continuity counts, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have that.
Oh yeah. And that's what you need. And with the running back position, I look at Kamara. Okay, our Kamara, he picked up a few pounds. Now that doesn't mean he's going. I want the family to know that doesn't mean he's going to lose his speed. You know, he still has his speed, and also speed is a different animal when running is a different animal when someone is chasing you. You know, when someone is chasing you. So that kind of I kind of seen that in a lot of players, even years ago when Jerry Rice ran, I think Jerry Rice ran like a 4.5 something or whatever. But when he played the game, they called it game speed. They have track speed and then they have game speed. Mm-hmm. You know, and I tell you one thing, that was what Mike Thomas shows me when he plays. He plays with game speed within a 25 to 30 route. Mike Thomas has. You look at every play with Mike Thomas, he has his defender beat. sometimes when it's off the ball, he'll have them, especially the guys that play in close up. He gets them right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And when he goes 20 yards deep. So, you know, it's a big difference. Speed is a big difference. I'm not a big fan of speed as in speed. I'm a big fan of a guy being quicker than with average speed than faster and no moves, no route running. You know, I'm a fan of that kind of person, a quicker person, and I'm glad we have that with our team. So I'm looking for us to make a run at this thing, and I'm looking for us to get over some hurdles all in 1 year with Minnesota being one, and also San Francisco. You know.
Right. Yeah, those are the focus teams we have to deal with.
Minnesota
is no right. And then the thing about Minnesota too, brother JT, is the fact that they have Justin Jefferson there. They lost Stephon Diggs, but they have Jefferson there. The compliment Thielen and a very confident Kirk Cousins. And even though they have problems right now with the running back situation, they ultimately will get that resolved. But this is still a team, regardless of not. We have to vanquish the demons. We have, you know how most people are. You know, you got to beat these things to get over them. And the Minnesota Vikings, we have not dealt with that. We haven't beat them Vikings. We have to take the Vikings down in the 49ers. And might I add, Tampa Bay is trying to position themselves to be a problem for the Saints. So I mean, we got to knock these guys down one shot at a time. And then when the playoff comes, we have to be very judicious, as I like to said, in our movements to be able to get into the postseason and minimize. We got to cut out the mistakes and the turnovers and the playoffs. We got to play mistake-free football. There is such a thing as mistake-free football.
Yes, you're right. You're exactly right. You know, well, Q, I ain't gonna keep you long, but I'm gonna say these two things, Q, to the family, and let them know. When we went out, I'm a guy like this. I'm fine with the Saints if they're on the road or anything like that for the playoffs. This don't matter to me because I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I know they come into play when that happens. Now, when we went to play Philadelphia a few years ago, it was in the snow and everything, where they thought we wasn't gonna beat them. We went up there and we waxed them, huh, Q?
Yep, we did. We took it from them.
We took it from them, and that was one good thing. So on the road is what I'm saying. It's no problem with me with them playing on the road. And secondly, I hope Tom Brady. I hope his year is up either after this year, because we don't need him back next year and the year after, because that's just gonna make. Well, I don't want to say it. I already know what it's gonna make. Q, you fill in the blanks, Q.
Yeah.
He gonna make my boy stay here and be here for 6 more years.
Yeah. Yeah, you already know, JT.
Boy, I tell you. Well, I got a beer in my hand now, Q. I said you say get a beer, so I got a beer.
There you go. That's Saints living right there. Talking about we got a brewski, your feet kicked up, listening to Saint talk. Boy, that's Saints heaven right there. Can't get no better than that.
Can't get no better than that. So everybody be safe, Q, and don't let nobody tell you nothing that you don't already know dealing with this virus. Just listen to your mama.
That's right. That's right. She done made it. Is that right? She done made it through many of them, bro. So she knows what she's talking about.
You know what she's talking about. That's right, Q.
All right, JT. Appreciate you, bro. Right, you be safe out there. Who that to you, brother?
Oh, yeah. Who that? Anytime, Q.
Peace. That's JT, man. Appreciate JT calling, man. Appreciate the brothers. Brother Donald, Brother Paul, Brother Randy, and Brother JT chiming in, man. Thank the brothers for chiming in. I appreciate that. It was a good call as well, man. We had some pretty good ones, didn't we, family, today? Really good calls, really good show. We broached, we've went past the 3-hour mark. We have 3 hours and 10 minutes currently. And, man, it's just been a really good show. Uncle Paul says, lest we forget, Dennis Allen was the head coach for the Raiders and got fired, he need to become a better defensive coordinator before he could ever want to be a coach in the league again. Thank you, Uncle Paulie. That's true. Abraham said, I need somebody that just like Cam Jordan that can help out, take the load off of Cam. Brother Abraham is the same way. I agree with that. You know, we definitely need somebody. I don't know if the Saints have somebody on staff right now. That's the thing that we all don't know. You know, do we have that? Who is the third edge rusher? You know, Scoop says Sheldon Rankins. But seriously, who's the edge rusher? Who's the situational pass rusher? That's problematic. It's really, I mean, I've been talking about this the entire damn offseason. The entire offseason. We went through all of these players, but we have yet to get a disruptive edge rusher. I would even took Deion Jordan. I mean, somebody that Deion Jordan is better than Trey Hendrickson, and Deion Jordan is better than Marcus Hunt. Griffin is better than those two guys. Clowney's better than those two guys. I mean, Jabal Shurd, in my opinion, is better than those two guys. We need somebody that can help us out right there. I agree with you, Abraham. Thank you. Demi says players can't stay healthy to last throughout the season and be ready for the postseason. That's my biggest concern for our team under Sean. This will be our fourth try to get the Super Bowl. Thank you, Demi. You're right. That is problematic, and depth needs to happen at the disruptive positions. If you got an edge rusher, listen, you can have a decimated secondary. If you have a front four that's putting pressure on the quarterback, it's going to make them look a lot better than what they actually are. The problem is you can't expect them to cover. The intensity and all the focus should be put on the edge rushers. Sacking a quarterback is the number one move. Intercepting the quarterback comes second. But sacking the quarterback is the number one thing if you're a defensive coordinator. You got to sack the quarterback and stop the run. We stopping the run. The issue with the Saints is they can't get to the quarterback enough. Now, he says, Q, we was top 5 in pressures. Q, we was top 5 in sacks or whatever it was. I get you on that. But that was last year. I won't be number 1 or number 2. That's who gets to the Super Bowl. The teams that not only can stop the rush, but they can get to that quarterback and knock them around. It makes the game so much easier when you can do that. And the 49ers, that's why the 49ers are going to always be up there in the playoff chase, because they have an unbelievable defensive line, and they understand blatantly obvious that the strength of the team has to be the defensive line. We have to put pressure on the quarterback. And we have a running game. John Lynch has done a phenomenal job in building the 49ers. He's basically turned them into what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was when he was there. A strong, fast, hard-hitting defense with a running game. And they do have an expensive quarterback who you got to preach for him to keep the turnovers down, but you don't need him to throw 300 yards a game. You can win games using the running backs, and he throw 140 or 150 with a touchdown, and they still win, and he happy with it. You don't need to throw 300 yards every damn game to have to be in the game. That's asinine. You got to rely on your running game, and that's what Lynch built the Niners into. Think about it. They're what the Buccaneers, when he was there, looked like. A strong running game, fierce defense. You can't go wrong with those things. That's fundamental. That's how the Pittsburgh Steelers old school with Bill Cowher was there. All those years Bill Cowher coached, he had 1 year when he didn't make the playoffs, and his team was 8-8. That's the worst he did. All other years Cowher was in the playoffs because there's the fundamental thing you can do is run the ball and play defense. And if you can do that well, you can work all that other offensive junk on top of that and have an immense success. Bottom line, even if you want to talk about Walsh's teams of the 80s when he was running the 49ers, four Super Bowl titles and all this kind of stuff, when Walsh set up top of there, he still ran the ball with Roger Craig. He still used Tom Rathman. He still was able to use Jerry Rice and John Taylor and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Then he got a little later, he got Ricky Waters there. Well, that's later on when Seifert came on, but they still had some success. But they understood to run the ball and play defense. Stopping the run first and forcing. But if you have a killer defense that can put pressure on the quarterback, they'll force turnovers. They'll knock the quarterback around, which makes them uncomfortable. and it'll make the defense look better because it speeds up the clock in the QB's head. Anytime you can interrupt their timing, you are impacting the game in a way to your favor. Disruption, my family, not necessarily stopping them. You don't have to stop these guys. You have to disrupt what they're doing, not stopping. People think we got to stop them, Q. No, we don't have to stop them. Just disrupt them by throwing them off. If we can get them to speed up their clock or throw their clock off or whatever it is, just whatever it takes to disrupt what they're trying to do, you're going to win the game. Disruption is the key, not necessarily stopping them, because disruption ultimately leads to you stopping them. When you can disrupt them, then you impose your will, and then stoppage comes too after the fact. But it's disruption first, then stoppage later. But I'm saying the recipe is we have to disrupt them. The pass rush disrupts them. Look at the 49ers. Look at the Minnesota Vikings. The teams that's giving the Saints trouble are teams that can fire off the line consistently, knock the quarterback around, and do things. The Saints can stop the run. They have to get another edge rusher or rushers to get on this team to fire off. And you shouldn't be worrying about Davenport's psyche. Shouldn't be worrying about that. He's under contract for the next several years. We need a guy that play over the top of him to minimize his minutes, keep him at a minimized disruptor rate, and milk him in slowly. Let him learn behind a pass rusher like a Clowney or a Griffin, or even take Jabal Shurd or Clay Matthews. Any one of those men will work in the Saints system. Shit, Clay Matthews played in 12 games last year and had 8 sacks. 8 sacks. How many games Davenport played in and only had 6? And this guy wasn't playing. He has a niche. He knows how to get to the quarterback. It's just that's his talent. That's not everybody has that ability. Not everybody has the skill or the talent to get to the quarterback. Look at guys, we talked about Bruce Smith. We talked about guys like Reggie White. And Donald was right. Bruce Smith played till he was 40 years old, got 5 sacks in his final year, which was enough to eclipse. He played till he was 40 to catch Reggie White, who was retired, several years after that? So that shows you how dominant this guy was, that this man had to play till he was 40, and Bruce Smith was tearing shit up. I'm just telling you, greatness is greatness, dude. But we have to disrupt what they're doing, and even the best teams of the past had disruption. The Giants of yesteryear with Strahan, Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, and then JPP came in there later on. They understood at even a basic level that if you can disrupt the quarterback with the pass rush, it'll make the secondary and every other aspect of your defense look a lot better, because it speeds up or slows down the clock of their opposing QB, which is a win. This is fundamental. This is fundamental football. If you were playing for the Saints, they'll be telling you this when you walked in the door. This is only if you play for defense. We must disrupt what the quarterback is doing. Well, how do we disrupt them, coach? Huh? That's what blitzing is for. But blitzing is really if your defensive line can't get the job done. If your defense was doing it, you would never have to send the safeties or the linebackers there to do it for them. Every now and again, you'll blitz. But if you firing off the line, you got 4 linemen, and they know what they're doing, and they can run, if they can protect against the run as well as pass rush, you don't need to do nothing but drop everybody else into coverage and sit in those holes and zones and cover up passing lanes and make it difficult for the quarterback, because they're coming around him, and that guy get nervous because he have to find somewhere to go with that ball. And it's that's fundamental stuff that any coach will say, hey, man, he telling the truth. Inevitable says he traded DeForest Buckner but replaced him with Javon Kinlaw, which is that guy's going to be a beast too. So they get rid of Buckner, who's going to be special. But Kinlaw, this dude's one of the most disruptive interior linemen that we've seen in a while. And he will do wonders for the 49ers. See what the bread butter? You see the trend here? They've selected over and over and over again defensive linemen because they know to stay relevant, you have to be able to put the pass rush down. That's the truth. All right. Yeah, Kevin, GM Kev, you're absolutely right. You talking about Brandon Ayuk. Yes, and the 49ers did draft Brandon Ayuk. And he'll get a lot of opportunities to play because of one of these star wide receivers is dealing with an injury. Scoop says it depends on the teams you play. If the QB releases the ball like Drew and Tom edge rushers are non-existent. Well, I mean, that's a part of it. you just have to take your chances on it. Now, Drew might get rid of the ball. Let's say your edge is firing off 30. You know how many ever snaps they get? 30, 40 snaps a game. Maybe 40, a starter 40, 50 snaps a game. Let's say that much, right? And your edge rushers is getting to him half the time. Half the time, getting to a quarterback like Drew Brees, it disrupts him because he's the type of dude don't like to be touched. But he's just like the same as most QBs. If you are getting Drew and knocking him around enough, it affects him. It will affect him. And look what it did to him last year. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback, first ballot. But you put the pass rush in his face, he looked like some goddamn third string quarterback, and I don't know what he's doing. See, it don't matter who you are. You can't escape the school. No matter who you are, you can't escape the school. If the pass rush is coming, you got to get rid of the ball. I don't care if you're Drew Brees or third string John Smith, the quarterback nobody knows. You got to be able to deal with that pass rush. And whether you're throwing it in the ground because the pass rusher come, or throwing it early where the potential interception can happen, or you're throwing it early and it's incomplete pass, all that is disruption. And they don't like it. That can throw the rhythm of the offense off. Not just the quarterback, but the quarterback is in sync with everything going on, and you can interrupt that synchronicity. You're going to beat that team. You're going to beat that team. Paul says, Derek, you ain't lying. There, green, onion, and barbecue are the best. Wichita, Paulie. JT said, I never believed in sending my linebacker and safety blitz. That means you do not have. I just said that. Thank you, JT. We just said, I didn't even read that. Thank you. You sit back and send those 4. Everybody else in the cover. Every now and again, you can send a linebacker or safety or cornerback and get exotic with it. But the sacks supposed to come to the people closer to the quarterback. Who's most closer to the quarter? That's to make simple of it. Who's closer than a quarterback than your defensive line? Huh? Who's closer? Is the linebacker, unless you put the linebacker on the line of scrimmage, the blitz along with your defensive line. But the defensive line spends the majority of the time closest to the opposing quarterback. They got to get through a guy or 2 or 3 to get there, but that's my point. They have to be able to take advantage of that and make plays happen, disrupting them. Okay, let's keep it going. Kevin says double covered Tyreek Hill. Marcus Williams has to be ready. Sport Talk says Clay had 8 sacks last season and still unsigned, shaking my head. Who that to you, Sport Talk? I know. I just mentioned it. He had 8 sacks in 12 games last year. Davenport played in how many games and had 6? I'm just saying, man. You don't see Reggie Whites and Bruce Smiths every day, is what I'm saying. Those guys just don't grow on trees and you pick them. Like, these are rare people because they have a rare combination of attributes that make them special. They're big, they're strong, they're fast, they're intelligent. That is things that most people don't have. How many of these guys you've seen? You've seen 6'6" guys, 320-pound guys, big humans, but they don't have those qualities. They don't have them. So when you have a guy that has a skill or the ability to get to the quarterback and he's done it over his career, why are we sitting here talking about this? Go get him. You know you don't have a Clay Matthews on the defensive line. You know, you need insurance for Davenport. We're going to really do this again? Seriously? In Drew's last year? That's what I'm saying, man. What have we learned? Are we learning anything here? All right. Demi says Clay is still available. Yes, he is. Somebody talking to him, Jim Kev said, I think it was Seattle he was saying. If I'm not mistaken, let me get rid of the guesswork, mind you. Let me get into it because I was looking at it. But yeah, Seattle looking at him. Let me see. I think the 49ers were the ones that signed Deion Jordan. Let me make sure here. Because the 49ers got all that shit and they still, 49ers, why San Francisco 49ers. This happened yesterday, mind you. They signed Deion Jordan. Remember Deion Jordan? The former first-round defensive lineman that played for the Miami Dolphins? They signed him yesterday. I asked you, what are the 49ers doing signing Deion Jordan when they have all those guys out there? They have Kinlaw, who's interior beast. They have Armstead out there. They have Bosa. And they have the other guys shooting off the line. Why do they need Deion Jordan? You know why they need Deion Jordan? Because they believe in pass rush in waves, in waves, in waves, in waves. And keeping the pressure on you, even though Bosa might not be out there, Deion Jordan's going to keep the pressure up in waves and waves. See that? Where's your Deion Jordan? The Saints don't have anybody that's behind Davenport or Cam that's better than Deion Jordan. And I guarantee you they got him for a toaster strudel and a hot can of soda. I guarantee they ain't cost much money to get him. So they're working out the details. And look, they said here, I forgot D Ford. He says 49ers Jordan, San Francisco gives Jordan an opportunity to compete for a role where his expectations are relatively low. And he'll be doing so in a spot where the 49ers don't have much depth. Nick Bosa, D Ford, remember they picked him up from the Chiefs, and Eric Armstead, who's their other bookend defensive end to Bosa. So you have those three guys, all those guys are talented, and then you throw Deion Jordan in the mix. Come on now. Where's your Deion Jordan? You see, that's how you play to win. You stack in the favor in your depth. D Ford is fantastic as an edge rusher. So is Bosa. So is Armstead. Did you throw Deion Jordan with those guys? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen to that. The 49ers, one of your adversaries that you have to beat, have just added Deion Jordan to the list. They can run the ball already. They did send Matt Breida to the Miami Dolphins because they didn't need him. They had a deal going on with their top back, Mostert, which they gave him an extension, so he happy. So he had a little problem now. Now Mostert is happy. Then you got Tevin Coleman, and then you got Jared McKinnon on the team. So you still got three quality backs, and the reason why they shipped Bread out is because of Jared McKinnon. Because what he can bring to the team. And they still going to run the three running backs at you. They still going to run. They might be short at wide receiver, but you never what Brandon Ayuk going to bring. He's a big physical wide receiver who can catch and run. I expect big things out of him, plus Kittles and the rest of the guys they're going to bring. And ultimately, Deebo Samuel will come back later on in the season. But the reality of the situation is you're dealing with a team that's serious about winning something. They're going to bring in all them people to pass rush your ass. And you talking about you sit up here with goddamn Davenport, who can't even stay healthy the last 2 years. You think the 49ers taking chances like that? The 49ers are playing to win. That's what frustrates me. Our adversary is getting better on the end where they whooped your ass in that game with them edge rushers firing off the edge on you, dropping back in the coverage on you, in the passing lanes, batting the ball down. And then you have a rookie dead set in the center of your offensive line now. You have McCoy there. Last year had some experience. Now you got a rookie there again. And Ruiz, who got to deal with one of the more difficult defensive lines in the league. Do you understand why I'm saying that your adversaries know that the pass rush is important? Why aren't you doing it? You're going to sit up here and tell me with a straight face Marcus Hunt and Granderson and Trey Hendrickson is the answer, and we're going to use a rookie, the situational pass rush. Okay. I think I done made my point on that. I'm not going to go no further on it. 49ers signed Deion Jordan. Just putting it out there on top of all those other guys. All right now. You've been saying this shit for the entire offseason, and then it's just amazing, man. Some people got to learn the hard way. But sooner or later, we'll get it. They'll get it right. They'll get it right. Davenport, it's a lot of pressure to put on Davenport, and we've been putting pressure on him for the last 2 years, and the pipes have been bursting. He ain't crystallized into no diamond yet. The pressure been put, we got nothing but a bunch of broken ass pipes here. That's I say, call the plumber. Call the damn plumber. Because if he was some sewer pipes, you're gonna have crap and dung and everything all over the place. You might need to go stay in the hotel for a few weeks until they get it all up. I mean, that's the case. All right. Brother Paul says, me too, I just used to get them. Okay, well, he's talking about something else. San Francisco also have a 3 or 4 number on defense. Okay, yeah. Okay, Demis says, yeah. All right, let's get some more here. I'll read some more comments here. Kevin says, we can't hire Marcus Williams because we play the Chiefs. If Marcus Williams start believing me, they will test him. Well, they said he better than Tyrann Mathieu. PFFC, the best safety in the league. Yeah, you know? Who the hell are we to challenge the PFF soft boys when they tell you that Marcus Williams the best safety in the league. He the best safety. What you worried about, GM Kev? PFF say he the best safety in the league. What you worried about? He gonna take care of business for Kansas City, right? PFF said he the best safety in the league. We're going to see, fam. We're going to see. We're going to see, man. We're going to see what's going on here. But I just like to throw that at you to let you know what your adversaries are doing. The 49ers added Deion Jordan, who is better than any other defensive lineman that you have not named Davenport or Cam. Can you name your third edge rusher? And then he is not even their second best or third best. He's considered the fourth best behind D Ford, who can start for anybody right now. And Armstead and Bosa with your first round draft pick. See, that's smart. That's smart. Running the ball, playing defense. That's smart. Not slinging the goddamn thing all over the field, because when you're running the ball and you're playing defense, you better believe you're eating up clock. And the 49ers showed you they can play running. They can run the ball with the ground and pound, or they can sling it on your ass. They put up 40-something points and beat the Saints last year that way. So they can show you they can sling it with the best of them. That is your adversary is what I'm trying to tell you. They understand the importance of getting to the quarterback. Why don't we? Why don't we? Why don't we? I don't get it. Inevitable says when you see PJ, Marcus, and Robinson on the same field, you know that it's going to be attacked. See, even we know that and they know it. When PJ Williams or Ken Crawley used to get on the field, the quarterback automatically threw to their side. Because he knew what we said, what we knew, that those guys were garbage, that they lacked confidence. And it's like a funky, foul smell. It's like smelling a bunch of nasty, old, rotten-ass eggs. That's what it smells like. When a person don't have no confidence and they get on the football field, it's a scent that the wolves pick up. And they smell it. And when Ken Crawley get on the field, he smell like funky, dirty, old, 5-year-old rotten-ass eggs. That's what it smell like. And that quarterback said, I smell, you know what? Oh, shucky ducky now. I got PJ Williams in here. I got Ken Crawley in here. Oh, man. Hit the like button, family. Kevin says, I agree. We don't need Drew to throw 40 times anymore. Kenny Sutton, who that to you? Who that to you, Kenny? Thank you for joining us. Adrian, appreciate that too as well. Thank you, Adrian. We're getting close to the end of the show, family. I'd like to thank all y'all for tuning in for the show today. Sport Talk said y'all remember Corey White. I like to forget Corey White. Osama Young, all that garbage. Alex Molden, all that crap and garbage, man. All that dung. All that crap. But I'd like to thank all the family members for tuning in today on the Sports Coma. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all, man, for having me. Had a great show today. I'd like to thank Donald, Paul, Randy, and JT for calling in today. Much love to you guys. Thank you for calling in. Paul says, hey, Q, we might have to give Davenport, Marcus Williams, and PJ Williams to River Parish Trash Company. Our business stinks, but it's picking up. But, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all chiming in today. And if you like the show, please hit the like button. And also check out our merch store. Go in the description section below and check out our merch store. We have 2 different links there. And the merch, we got the hats. Like if you look at the snazzy Drew Orleans hat that I'm wearing, camouflage. It comes in black, solid black as well, with the Pro Apparel patch on it. This is not a paint stamp. This is embroidered. This is embroidered. And I'm inviting you guys to go to the pro shops and check them out. There's Pro Shop 1, Pro Shop 2. Ones is where the hats is. There's several different hats. It's also I guess you can call it a fisherman's hat. The kind of old fisherman hat. Y'all know what I'm saying. They got the Sports Coma patch. And there's several other hats and stuff like that. There's face gaiters. And there's also masks available in the link. So check both of them out. They're 2 different stores. We'll have a third one coming online sometimes in the week coming ahead for all the great and snazzy gear that we have. We're currently working on more styles, and the next month we'll have another 4 additional styles that are coming up. As you can see, the Saints face masks or face coverings, the Underdog, the Drew Orleans, and the Great Saint Think Tank mask, feel free to get one today. They're real nice. It's really good quality as well. And y'all go to the Pro Shop and check it out for yourself. Like I said, man, we got a lot of shirts, over 40 different shirts. I didn't realize it was that many, but we continue to kind of push it out. And I got to thank the Most High for a fantastic team that we have. Brandon, yeah, Jason David, that was awful. I feel you on that. Awful, Jason David, he sucked. Also, if you believe in the platform, please feel free to go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. That's patreon.com/the PRO Media Network to subscribe to the Patreon page. And there are 4 different options that you guys can use to get on. You can go there. It's $1. It's a $5. It's also a $10 as well that you guys can get on with the show. JT says, Q, you know what's sad? That they don't have good safety and they don't have good safety in the league. And also, if you feel free to go to our pro radio Spreaker.com/the Sports Coma. All this is listed in the description section below, so you don't have to remember all this stuff I'm telling you. Just simply go down to the description section below. All these links and more are down in the description section, so you don't have to memorize all this. So just to let the family members know. All right, coming back to it. I'll just show you one of the masks that we have. This is the Great Saint Think Tank face covering. We call it mask, face covering, whatever. As you can see, it's made of a really nice material. It's very flexible. It's very good. So if you want to wear a mask, wear one in style, you can wear the Great Saint Think Tank mask. We also have the Underdog mask, and we also have the Drew Orleans mask that match the hat. So if you're interested in getting these things, you can feel free to go to the links at the Pro Shop. It's in the description section below and check it out. Now, also, just to let the family members know that we also will have the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. The Pelican post-game report will be tonight as well. Just to let the family members know about that. It will be tonight. Pelican post-game report will be tonight. I want to say it'll be at 10 o'clock, GM Kev, just to let you know. 10 o'clock, it should be at 10. We'll do a 30, 40-minute show, and then we'll be out. We'll recap the previous game against the Washington Wizards. And I did say in the last broadcast that if had not the Pelicans have not won against the Washington Wizards, I would have stopped the Pelican post-game report and not started it until they fired Elvin Gentry. That's pretty much what I said. And I knew they was going to win. It took It took Drew Holiday to have a Drew Brees type affair in the game to wake him up. So regardless or not, we still got the win. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock is a big one as we take on the San Antonio Spurs. So 10 o'clock on that, Jim. Kev, appreciate the comment. Ramsey says, hey, with Mike Nolan gone, do we have a good replacement for teaching the linebackers? Yes, we do. I like this guy. We have Michael Hodges. He was an understudy of Mike Nolan, and he is familiar with the system. I like his intensity. He seems to be a very intelligent person. Him and Mike Wilholt will take over the duties of the linebacker room, and I do like this guy. I think he'll do a fine job. So I'd like to thank all the Black and Gold family members for tuning in for this show. Thank you very much. Big ups to Donald, Paul, Randy, and JT for calling in tomorrow. Also to let the family members know tomorrow at 12 o'clock is the Madden simulation, the TSC Madden simulation. Every Sunday tomorrow returns to 12 o'clock noon Central Time as the Saints take on the Atlanta Falcons. Remember, 2 weeks ago, the Saints lost in a tight affair in the Dome against the Falcons. Well, guess what? Tomorrow, the Saints have an opportunity after decimating the Broncos. Did y'all see that Broncos simulation? Man, Drew came out, he threw a pick six, and it was like, oh, man, here we go. And then after that, everything changed. The Saints scored a 50-burger on the Broncos last week. They got on par. So can they carry that momentum into Atlanta to take on the Falcons? So tomorrow, the Saints take on the Falcons. They get revenge on a stinking, rotten Falcons. So we'll see about that, and we'll keep it going. So much love to the Black and Gold family members. Thank y'all for tuning in for this installment of Sports Coma. Please hit the like button. And by all means, friends, please feel free to take the link and share it in your social media. Trust me, it helps out. If you're involved in different Saints groups, share the link in the Saints groups and let a lot of people know about the Sports Coma growing exponentially, baby. Big ups to you. And before we go, I'd like the Reverend Saint to give a quick word to all the family members that have been waiting to hear from the Reverend. Trell Hatch, who that to you. Good to see you, Trell, in the podcast, bro. Sorry we about to end it, but much love to you. Thank you for joining. And Reverend Saint want to say a word. Yes, baby. Appreciate all the Black Gold family members out there, baby. Chiming in tonight, baby. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, baby. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, baby. Keep your head up, baby. Remember, baby, keep strong, baby. Keep active, baby. Don't let nobody tell you can't be number one, baby. You always got to keep pressing, baby. You got to always hold it right, baby, and be strong no matter what you do, baby. Put your best foot forward, baby. And remember, take care of them cheering, baby. Take care of them chilling, because them chilling, baby, they're the key to the future, baby. You got to look out. You got to teach the chilling right, baby. And then on top of that, baby, remember, baby, them bitten babies, they don't listen to you, baby. They learn from what you do, baby, not what you say, baby. That's coming from the Reverend, baby. So I appreciate y'all all this for joining Big Q in the Sports Coma tonight, baby. Much love to you, baby. Who that to you, baby? Who that to you, baby? Who that to you, baby? And we out. Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like Q always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big